hall. Find your way into the hall. Find your way into the hall. Find your way into the hall. Hello. How are you? Ladies, can we begin to come into the hall? Beautiful ladies, can we come in? All right, ladies, let's get together and have a good time. All right, I hope we're actually networking because I'm going to be asking some of you some questions. You better get to know the people to your right and to the left. I might decide to give you something, and if you tell me the name of your friend and I know you are from the same place, you are not going to get anything. So you better make effort to meet someone who is not Nigerian. As a Rwandan, don't meet someone who is Rwandan. You have to have another person that you have met that is from another place. I want to see the hugs. I want to see you getting to know. Ladies in tech, beautiful ones, you better go and meet your Rwandan ladies. If I ask their names and you don't know, I want the hugs to go round. Make sure you are saying hello to the right and to the left. And if you work in the same company, if you know only the names of people you have coming together, that is trouble. So ladies, this is now time for us to have fun. Y'all ready? Mama, I got you. I got you. There is a gift for the person who has networked the most. There is a gift for the person who has networked the most. That means you have asked their number. Rolla, see me come and take my picture with my friends here, so that they will not say I didn't meet them. Antonio wants to win the gift, but make sure. All right. Let me do my own, ladies. What's your name? Sophia. I'm Narissa. I'm Lolo.
Nice to meet you.
Nice. And
We're getting blocked now.
yes, we're getting blocked. Say excuse me, ma. All right. I have Sophia and Narissa here. If you don't ask their names, if I ask you and you don't know at least 5 people who are Rwandans and Rwandans in the house, you must know 5 people who are Nigerians. Ha. Don't manufacture any name, oh. What's your name? Fair? Vanny. All right, I see Vanny. You better be asking. I see people who are not going round. Everybody here must know at least 5 Rwandans. All the Rwandans here must know 5 Nigerians. You must know their names. You must know what they do. There is a present for the person who has networked the most. So ladies, you better get going. Make sure you know 5 Rwandans. Our Rwandan ladies must know 5 Nigerians. There is no hanky-panky. You must know. Make sure you are shaking hands, taking pictures. If I ask you for their picture and you don't have a picture with them, you are not winning. You must have a picture with at least 2 Rwandans. I'm giving dollars, thousands of it. You must have at least 2 pictures with 2 Rwandan ladies. When you come for conferences, those are things that make memories. Those are things when you go back home and you look at, you are able to say that you did interact. So it's not just about looking pretty. We want you to be able to have friends from other places. When I was growing up, the Gen Zs can't relate. Auntie, you know pen pals. You will write a letter and it will take how many weeks to get to where it's going. But now, thank you, my ladies, that we know our ages. Anybody that knows pen pal, you are over 40. Sure, pure and simple. It will take days, but now you can send an email and they will get it almost immediately. Auntie Toyi might be winning this particular competition. You must have pictures with at least 2 Rwandans if you are a Nigerian. And if you're a Rwandan, you must have at least 2 pictures with a Nigerian. Because if I'm going to be giving a gift that is really weighty, then you must have done the work. Put in the work. Put in the work. Put in the work. People that like sitting with their friends. I know her from Lagos. I know her from Nigeria. You are about to get it twisted this afternoon. Ladies in tech and leadership, we have to mix up the hall. All right, ladies. See hugs. So you are my name. That is how you will know someone you didn't know you knew. Just look at that. Look at the beauty. Just look at the networking. Those that are just coming in, you must have a picture with at least 2 Rwandans. And any Rwandan lady must have pictures with 2 Nigerian ladies. The least. We cannot be having a conference for women. I see somebody hiding in the corner with a beautiful outfit. And she's hugging the wall. She's standing up now, about to network. I just discovered my bosom friends are tech money and finance guru. Beauty with brains in the hall. Everywhere I look. Aha, black beauties, melanin popping. Have you asked them what they eat in Rwanda that is close to what we eat in Nigeria? Eh? Have you asked? Pineapple. Do you know today they gave us something mango? Pato mango or something. Do you even know what that is? I will take a picture and hide one and take home. I'm a fruit tourist. Anywhere I go in the world, I want to eat a fruit I've never had before. That's why I've had a lot of fruits. There's, yes, mango, tomato. I didn't know what it was. I just said I'll come and investigate when I return. Ladies, I can see what you are doing. That is what it's all about. We can't come for a conference and you are not making a new meaningful contact. You have to. It's important. It's not just about the ladies you came with. It's about who you met. You might be having another thing to do in Rwanda and you have a friend here who you can call and say, hello, I'm in Rwanda for something. Can we meet up? And she said, no, no problem. I'll take you everywhere you need to go. Who knows? They might start selling your products. Ha. Auntie Toyi might be importing all our designer clothes to Rwanda for them to be stocking. Our beautiful Ashoke pieces. Huh. Your company might decide to open a branch here because you networked greatly. Huh. And you are bringing income. They will say, wow, I met this person. There's a gap here we need to fill. Somebody asked a question that how many digital hubs do they have? Who knows? The president of Rwanda might decide to partner with us. All things are possible as long as you can conceive it and believe it. All right, ladies. Thank you for being obedient. I appreciate everyone. You guys are amazing. All right, can we be seated? Can we start getting? All right. Okay. I see you. Okay. All right, ladies, can we be seated? Can we be seated? Can we be seated? You guys are amazing. Okay, you want to socialize? Go ahead. And I know who said that because she will answer question. She must have met like 7 Rwandan ladies. She must know their hometown. What they ate this morning. And their next of kin. Thank you, Jerry, my baby. Yes. I know the people that sat throughout. I'm coming for them. This is another session. Thank you, ladies, for being such great sports. All right. All right. Are we seated now? Yes, are we seated? We're going to play a little game. One game. Very interesting. Okay. I see that we're seated. Everybody get comfortable. Get comfortable. Get comfortable. All right. We're going to play a quick game. Where is Adeshawa? She's busy, I know. Oh, Adeshawa, You busy, mama. She's covering the sun. All right, ladies. Because you are so beautiful, we're going to play a game now. We're going to be concentrating. So when I come to you and I put the mic in your mouth, you must answer what I ask. Yes. If you don't know it, we will clock it for you. All right, for our Ugandans ladies, we have a trend in Nigeria. Any small thing will say, clock it. Then it. All right. So once you win something, we clock it for you. And if you didn't win, we won't clock for you. I see someone I'm going to start my game with. She's so beautiful. I just love the way she looks. The mirror. Concentration, concentration. Give me the name of one fruit that starts with M.
Mango.
She's not even confident. She said, mungo. Concentration, concentration. Give me one fruit that starts with E. One fruit that starts with E. Eggplant. It's a vegetable. It's a fruit. It's a fruit. Okay. Concentration, concentration. Give me the name of a fruit that starts with A.
Apple.
Put your hands together. Okay. Concentration, concentration. Give me the name of one fruit that starts with C.
Coconut.
Coconut. Put your hands together. That's nice. I like that. All right. Concentration, concentration. Give me the name of a fruit that starts with G.
Guava.
Put your hands together. Even though they did collabo. This was collabo. Concentration, concentration. Give me the name of a fruit that starts with B.
Banana.
Oh, after the health. Banana. It was a group work. Concentration, concentration. Give me the name of a fruit that starts with K.
Kiwi.
I see all this group association you are doing. It's a collabo. Within 10. Okay. Okay. Women supporting women. I see you. I see you. Okay. Because I see two delectable women in here. And you know, they look like designer babes from top to toe. Like, I look at her and I just know she probably got off a runway in Milan. You know, when I was there for Fashion Week, you know, we did connect. Yeah. And because of that, she's going to tell me two designers that she knows.
SM. House of Tayo. Those are all Randis.
All? Oh, they're Rwandese. Designers, you're wearing them. Stand up. Let us look and observe what they made. Put your hands together for House of S&M. Okay, lovely. Wow. Is it your brand or you buy from them?
I buy from them. So this is SM. Sonia Mugabo.
Oh, wow. Beautiful. Put your hands together. You know, we keep saying in Africa, we need this is African made. And a lot of us here are wearing Nigerian made clothing. So please put your hands together for African designers. African designers. All right, concentration. Because they are not concentrating. Give me two Igbo names that starts with C.
Choma Chidimma.
Choma Chidimma. Okay. Okay. All right. Give me two Rwandan names that start with A.
Abayo. Abayo.
Abayo.
And Amahoro.
Amahoro. Put your hands together for her. I see that. I see that. All right. Concentration. Yeah, the ladies are concentrating now. Put your hands together for every one of you. I'm super proud. I'm super proud. All right. I did ask everyone while we were having our networking time, I did say that you should meet people. Yeah, I did say so. So, for those that did not, we shall see. And those that did, we shall see also. Yes, because I do love him. And she has been the focus all through this amazing conference. She's going to tell me who she met, where she works, what she eats, who her father was or is, her mother's name. No, I'm joking. No, I won't kill you. I won't kill you. Yes. And on top of that, I'm jealous because she still has her edges. And edges are really something that women want these days. No, any woman with edges, we're not friends. Yeah, it's pure jealousy up to toe. This one, I'm just being jealous. So, the beautiful one, you meet ma.
Thank you. Okay, all right. Thank you. Yeah, I met. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I met Clarissa. Clarissa is right there. Thank you. Yeah, Clarine. Thank you. Norisa. Thank you. And I met Sophia as well. And happiness there. Thank you. I met her.
Put your hands together for her. That's what I said we should do. Yes, beautiful. Now that she has set the pace, we have a gorgeous farmer in our midst. She's gorgeous. She's a tech farmer. And she's beautiful. And she's wearing Nigerian. Clock it. I never reached there. She done the clock her. Who did you meet that is not Nigerian?
I met Clarissa. I met Sophia. I met Claudia. Muda. Muga. Okay. Muga, yeah. She's from Chad. No, she's from Spain. She's from Canada.
Ladies, I'm impressed. And I wanted her not to win. I was rooting for her. Yes, I see this beautiful, is the gorgeousness of a jewelry, and the allure of the hair. Those are the things I hope she can give to me when we're done. And of course, the spectacular shades she has on. It will suit me perfectly. I want to know who she met. Yes.
Okay, I met Happiness. Happiness has really been very, yeah, she has been very amiable. I met her as well. I remember, and I also met the lady in brown. Oh, I'm so sorry, but I think, yeah, the one in front. Yeah. Grace. I met Grace, Happiness, and Asa.
Ask what her name is.
What's your name, please, ma'am? Terrace.
I will come back and ask again. All right, wonderful. Okay. You guys are really wowing me. And this, I wanted to shame some people. Why are you guys doing great? Okay, I don't care how straight she thinks her face is. But when I'm sleeping, this is how I look. Argue with your dreams. I'm a size 6. Yes. Yes. You are what you say you are. I'm a size 6, y'all. Yeah, some of them just borrow my bodies. I'm very magnanimous. Sometimes I just want women to shine. So I give them my body like, okay, use it for a while. Most gorgeous, please stand up. Yeah, ageless. Clock it, Put your hands together for her. That was really amazing. You know, I did that because it's very important that we do network. I know sometimes we don't like to come out of our comfort zone. We all came together, you know everybody in your team. But when you come to a new place, you can actually meet someone who can transform your life completely forever. You would never believe it. A lot of you are tech for tech here, and Grace stays in the ecosystem. She works in there. You might even need an expert from Rwanda, and you already made one friend. So sometimes when we come for conferences, it's the heart of it, our integration. And you can see part of all the things that we've been saying: innovation, collaboration. Collaboration is the new money, is the new competition. Yeah, I'm learning, non-tech for tech. you know, it's so important that we innovate. And I found out that if we do together, we achieve more. So don't be afraid of the person next to you. Even if it is knowledge you are going to glean, that is something. That is totally something. So please don't be shy. Ask somebody's name. At least, what would you do? They might be bringing me to Rwanda all the time, like MC, international. You know how I roll. you know how I roll. Yeah, yeah. But if you don't do that, we're a group of, very impressive women, and we've come all the way from all our walks of life to be able to benefit from this beautiful conference. And of course, today, we're going to be talking about something very important, from inclusion to influence. Everybody knows that women have been fighting for space since forever, since time immemorial indeed. There are many women on whose backs all of us are standing and sitting today. There was a time women did not even go to school. If they are going to prioritize education in some homes, they would never choose a woman. The girl child will be, sent to her husband's house. That was what a lot of Africans grew their girl children to be. But we have been able to break that ceiling. At least women have pushed some doors open now. At least in Nigeria, and I know across Africa, women are taking positions of leadership in many areas. In Nigeria, they are so visible in the finance sector. We have a lot of female CEOs. And before, that was something you would just count one in a dozen. Now I'm seeing a lot of women who are tech innovators. And those are things that people used to think is just for men. So our discussion today is not just about inclusion. Some of us have pushed that inclusion envelope and we're sitting comfortably. But now we need our influence to be seen. That is where the next conversation is. That in every room that every woman is, your voice counts. Sometimes they just put us in the room because they don't want to let it not be like we didn't include women. But now, we want influence. And those are some of the conversations that we're going to be having today. So please, women, be comfortable, relax. We're going to have an amazing time. We have wonderful speakers who have been curated specially for these next conversations that we'll be having. So everybody be ready for the next level. I'm looking for my script silently and casually so that, Miss Jethro will not kill me. Aha. Those are the things. I'm so happy when I saw the faces of the women in this room. And I saw that, yes, we've packed the room completely full, filled with women who are interested in the tech space. That is something we should celebrate. All right, so good afternoon, distinguished guests, executives, innovators, founders, policy makers, partners, and amazing women leaders joining us today, because I believe every woman next to you is a leader. So please clap for the leader beside you. And I want to say welcome to the 4th edition of the Ladies in Tech and Leadership Network. My name is Omotunde Adeboale David, but you all know me as Lolo. So for my Rwandan ladies, my name is simple. Lolo. Yes. Yeah. Lolo. You can call it anyhow. Yeah. Lolo. Yeah. And of course, it is my absolute pleasure to serve as your host for this special gathering. The Ladies in Tech and Leadership Network is a pan-African leadership acceleration platform that is focused on strengthening women's participation, visibility, and influence within Africa's digital and innovation economy. Following a successful edition in Kenya in 2025, we are excited to continue this important movement here in Kigali, Rwanda, bringing together women across technology, businesses, leadership, policy, and enterprise to share experiences, build strategic relationships, and inspire the next phase of African leadership. Today is not just about presentation, it's about influence, decision making, ownership, leadership, and creating lasting impact across industries. We are also delighted to welcome delegates from across Africa, including over 30 delegates alone from Nigeria. Please put your hands together for our Nigerian delegates. And you know, this will further strengthen collaboration and cross-border engagement between ecosystems. So for all our Rwandan ladies too, please put your hands together for them. Thank you very much for joining us. And we will also sincerely like to appreciate our partners and our supporters. Jackal Technologies, please put your hands together for them. We can't thank them enough. Digital Transformation Center / GIZ, CRCB, and ICT Chambers, Rwanda. Please put your hands together for them. We want to thank you for supporting platforms that empower women leaders and accelerate inclusive innovation across Africa. So I want to just say welcome, welcome, welcome once again. Now, we're going to be calling a special woman in our midst. Beauty does not only define her, but grace and of course brilliance also defines her. Please help me make welcome our wonderful, beautiful, the founder of Ladies in Tech and Leadership Network, Abiola Lasende. Please celebrate her.
Thank you so much. Once again, can we appreciate Lolo? Good afternoon, distinguished guests, delegates from Nigeria, our sisters here from Rwanda. Thank you so much for staying put. The room is still full. It is unbelievable. After a very lovely, impactful, practical tips-packed session in the morning, having you still up with energy at this time is really remarkable. So thank you. We've had literally a keynote speech by our MC. She's so full of knowledge, wit, and of course her energy is contagious. So thank you. She has said a lot already. Yeah, please let's appreciate her. She has said a lot already, and for me, if you haven't heard anything she's said, right, we're in this room today, whether you wear that label tech for tech or tech for non-tech, whether we wear any of those labels or not, remember that digital revolution is already in our DNA. So it's either we're leveraging tech and we're getting into the thrust of the conversation and we're not being intimidated, we're not being shy, we're not being conservative, but we're actually pushing through so that when we come out of the room or the forum like this, you have become an influencer in the real sense of the word. Okay, so we're here today because we want to change that narrative. So remember, tech, digital revolution, digital technology, whatever nomenclature you call it, is in our blood. And if it's going to flow nicely, effortlessly, we must embrace it, right? I was on a TV show with Lolo about 6 weeks ago or so. And it was, I was being asked questions. What do you call it again? Lolo, what do you call the TV show? Jaziri, and it was, what format was that? Question and answer. Yeah. And I was just talking freely from my heart, unscripted. And I had four remarkable women coming right after me, after the session, to say to me, we've never heard anyone break tech down the way you did. I guess what my reaction was? I was like, are they flattering me? Because I'm not even a techie girl. I just know that I have to embrace tech. And they were all over me for about 15 minutes. I was overwhelmed. One said, "Ah, I didn't used to just pay attention, but now that you've broken it down the way you did, I'm going to now embrace it. My children are doing a lot of stuff. I just have an idea." Another one said, look, I started coding, but I stopped. But listening to you, I didn't talk about coding. I didn't talk about any technical stuff. All I think I presented was that you need to embrace digital revolution. That was all I thought I was saying. And I was demonstrating it that, look, I haven't done one single certification, but if you throw me into the deep end of a conversation like this, or a forum in Barcelona, in anywhere, I will stand like I am a tech girl, because it is no longer a label. So that hasn't left me, because four of them were all over me, and I initially flattered. Can you imagine somebody telling you you broke it down and I didn't even do anything technical? All I painted for them was that if you're going to be relevant, if you're going to be useful, and if you're going to influence the next phase of any ecosystem, you need to understand what is going on. You need to have that mind shift. So that is why we're here this afternoon. We don't want to go back the same way. We want to be able to shake hands at the next forum, wherever in the world, and stand tall in any room and say, yes, I'm leveraging tech. I'm using it for my entire community. It's making my life better. It's making my business better. It's making my leadership work better. It's making those that are having called to influence, to impact, and help them become better individuals. It's making that journey with them better. Don't do more than 3 or 4, objectives around your tech speak or your tech ecosystem. Don't put too much on yourself. Like, I have never sat down to say, I want to go and do some certification. I desired it in the beginning, but I realized that it's an everyday learning. So I soak everything in at every touch point, right? So I'm not waiting for that big moment. I'm taking daily steps. That's why some of you are here today, because you heard about this, and out of curiosity, you jumped on it. But don't do that, bad wagon effect. Actually make your investment in this count. I beg you. So on that note, I want to say thank you once again. We can't appreciate our partners enough. Jackal Technology, the Digital Transformation Center, they've literally given us this space today. I'm announcing that again. All the he for she in the room, please raise your hand. All the guys who are here with us, thank you for supporting us. Where's my son Isaac? Yes, I have a grown son. He's outside working somewhere. Ignace is back here. That's our correct he for she who has held this from the beginning. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. And I also want to appreciate our keynote speaker. She just walked in majestically. Esther, thank you so much. Please take the seat. It's fine. Take the seat. Yeah, so thank you so much, everyone. I'm going to hand this back to the MC.
Please put your hands together. Is she not beautiful? She is, and she's brilliant at the same time. There was a time that they could never understand that there can be beauty and brilliance in a woman. Those are things I want you to appreciate. Once they see a beautiful woman, they just assume you have no brains. So when we show them that we have brains, we're stunners. So please put your hands together for yourself, for being beautiful and brilliant at the same time. All right. I'm very excited because our keynote speaker just walked in. Thank you very much for coming to see her smile. I love fine women. All right, today our topic is very special, and I know she'll do justice to it. Inclusion was the beginning, but influence is the goal. Over the years, conversations around diversity and inclusion have opened important doors for women across different industries. But today, the conversation is evolving beyond simply having a seat at the table. Honestly. So now the focus is on influence. Influence. How women shape policy. Imagine when men make laws for us. How can they understand how a woman feels or what it is for us? And that is why we need more women at the table. Now, we want to talk about how women drive innovation, lead organization, build businesses, and create transformational impact across Africa and, of course, globally. So today, to deliver the keynote address, please help me to welcome the Director General, Ministry of ICT and Innovation, Esther Kunda. Please celebrate her as she comes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Please, I don't have a camera anywhere to make sure that I time my entrance to when I have to speak. But thank you for having me. I would say I can see very good ladies that are looking very well, so I should have dressed up. So it's a pleasure to really join you, and especially for Ladies in Tech and Leadership, for this organization and for bringing all these women together, and for this platform that is very, very important. So I think as she was talking about inclusion and influence, and these are some of the things that I think about. I was thinking about this topic and saying, okay, what should we talk about today? What should I talk about today in terms of what it means for a woman, especially a woman in tech? What does that look like, and how should we look at it? And for me, and as we know, like for many years, efforts to support women in technology and leadership are always focused on inclusion, and that focus is always right. But inclusion always meant creating access to education, digital skills, professional networks, mentorship, funding, leadership opportunities. And funding, you could put asterisks around it because it's not always very straightforward how that is that. And it's also meant to ensure that women and girls are not systematically left out as our countries start to develop. And I think a good example, for example, for Rwanda, a few decades back, we were very deliberate in putting in place policies to drive and encourage young women to join science and technology. So when you see such drive, this is why some of us are here, is because we've been able to get, whether it's scholarships, whether it's schools, young girls schools that are focused on tech and science. And that's very important to drive that influence and that inclusion. And the work is not finished here. Today in the present, I think what it means is being able, as women, if you've studied technology, if you've not studied technology, if you're in the corporate world, if you're creating a company, it means leading organizations, building companies, influencing how products are designed, influencing how those products speak to us, and how they contribute to the decisions that matter to all of us. I think it's very important that we start shifting, and how we shift both interventions, how we shift our organizations, and how we think about how we show up every day to make sure that our thinking, our needs, and our configuration are all taken care of as we build the companies, as we contribute to building these global organizations, and as we think about the products that serve us, especially in tech. So why this matters? I think technology today is very pervasive. It's everywhere we look. I think for most of you, if you have children, I don't think you live without technology. If someone leaves your phone or you don't have communication at home, it's a connection to your home. It's a connection to the workplace. Technology is in everything that we're doing. It's also starting to show up in how agriculture, healthcare, education, finance, trade, and any other sector is currently growing. And women participation in both those fields traditionally is very important, but also women in tech in those sectors is also very, very, very important. Because I think when we think, for example, about healthcare, and someone is designing health tech use cases or products, it needs to include women. It needs to include women, and that's why we need to be at the seat to see this. We need to also be cognizant that when we build technology, we have to build technology for the entire world. We make up most of half of the world, so we should not be an afterthought. I think these days there's a very interesting movement and activism about including women in scientific research, right? I saw a very interesting TikTok that said if you're a woman and doing PhD, make sure that the topic you're choosing has women at the end, or has inclusion, it centers a woman in that PhD, in the research that you're doing, because we're significantly things that affect us, things that contribute to our well-being and not factored into the investments that have been done over the years. And we want more women leading the charge. I don't think when all of us think about this, it's not that I would be able to enter and I close the door behind me, right? We need to be able to see that we are growing together as people that are either in the corporate, building together and all that. We need to grow together. But also we need to keep the door open for more women to come in. And I think that is very important, because the more space we create, the more environment that we create to make sure that women that are coming behind us feel included, feel seen, but also see the pathway, right? I don't think, for me, I don't believe in going for someone else to struggle the same way I have struggled, right? And potentially I might not have even struggled that much, but, and I like learning from other people. Let young children learn from you. Let's make sure that we learn from people who paved the way for us, but let's also provide that feedback and that space for young girls to also learn from us. They should not go through what we went through. So what are we doing today to make sure that the next young girl that is coming through is going to go through what we passed through, right? And it's our prerogative. It should be our vision. It should be the things that that we work on a very single day. And every single time we show up at work, we show up in the spaces that we're in, we should always ask ourselves, are we creating a better environment for the person who's going to come in the door next? And let's band together, right? Let's band together. I think recently I also listened to someone who was saying it's very rare when we were in spaces like this, whether you're a founder, having conversation with other founders about how did you raise, how much equity did you give out, how much are you paying this person, the person you're hiring, which criteria, which law firm are you using for legal services. These practical examples and sharing, these are some things that we need to be instrumentally creating within our own communities. The other thing that I think that is very, very interesting is that with, for example, for Rwanda, with all the work that we've done in getting more women into STEM, there's still a very long road around getting women into leadership and especially within the tech space, to have young women that are in creating companies, leading companies and leading tech organization. So we need to also think about this pathway from STEM, learning STEM, being in the STEM fields, and actually working in the STEM and staying in the STEM fields. There's several researches that have been done in terms of how you see classrooms, even going to PhD and in the professional world, how statistically women get out of the STEM fields as they professionally grow. So I think it's also a prerogative for us to be able to grow that environment and say, how can we stay in the field? How can we influence? And I think that's the influence part. How can we stay in the field? How can we make sure that more of us are continuously influencing this? good news, someone recently, when the 4 people on Artemis, did you follow the NASA mission? The NASA mission, um, apart from the people who were in space, in the control room, someone showed a picture of in the 1960s when there was like the mission to the moon. There's only one woman in the control room, only that one woman. This when this mission happened, there were 30% of women in the room, right? So you can imagine, we need to make sure that we stay the course. One person, keep the door open and continue that. So I think, let me not continue to delay here. It's like I think there's so many things that we can talk about, and there's space for us to be able to create this. What I would say is, where we sit as a Ministry of ICT and in our role, we always think about inclusion of women in the things that we do. Whether we're thinking about access to smartphone, access to connectivity, innovation programs that we do run, etc. We're thinking about how women can continuously be included. We're thinking about what are the partnerships that we can do and we can make to be able to grow this partnership. So I'm very interested and really appreciative of the effort of bringing this initiative and this event here. I hope we can grow these conversations and make them very fruitful. And I think the theme again really captures what influence means and what inclusion looks like. And I hope we can take this and all the conversation we're having here and say, what does action look like beyond the event here? What does it look like in our own personal spaces, in the spaces that we occupy in our work elsewhere? And I would encourage you, as ministry, I think we would be very happy to continue having this conversation and partnering. So thank you very much and happy to be here.
Please put your hands together for her. Thank you very much for bringing us. There is so much women can do, and we have to get on our way to doing it. And we need to continue to make sure that our influence is seen and our brilliance is on the table also. Thank you very much, Esther Kunda, for that keynote address. All right now we're going to another innovative session, and we're going to be moving into our panel session. We will now, our panel session, the topic is Beyond the Seats at the Table, How Women Turn Opportunity. All right, before we get into our panel session, we would like to present our plaque so that we can get that out of the way. Please, Esther Kunda, please, can you be back? And of course, Biola Lasende will be joining, and Tolu and Fola. Tolu Fashola. No, you're not governors, are you? All right, thank you. Thank you so much. All right. From that brilliance, we're moving to another brilliant time. And of course, at the panel session, the topic that they will be discussing is Beyond the Seat at the Table, How Women Turn Opportunity into Power Across Industries. This conversation will explore how women across all sectors are navigating leadership, building influence, overcoming barriers, and transforming opportunities into measurable impact. And I know that women are indeed doing that. So joining us on the panel today, we have some very seasoned women. If it was, I would have put too much salt in them. They are very well seasoned, yes. We have the Technical Customer Success Manager for Dell Technologies who will be moderating. Please help me celebrate the beautiful Yemi Ezebube. Yem. Uh-huh. I knew this Barbie dress had a purpose. Okay. She will be moderating the session. Thank you very much. And of course, joining her, we have the Country Manager Nigeria, Hewlett Packard Enterprise. Hewlett Packard Enterprise, HP, yeah, for short. We have Ambassador Dr. Ifeyiwa Kojo with us. Please celebrate her. Country Manager. Yes, that's the kind of women that are in my company. Powerful women. All right. Of course, we also have that will be joining this formidable panel, the CEO/founder for Vitalia. Yes, Vitalia Health. Please help me celebrate Dr. Crystal Giraneza. Cute women. I like. You just see powerful women. They just sit simple. Look at director. Just simple. Gosh. It's only those that don't have so much money that dress too much. No, not in every circumstance. Yeah. All right, we still have some other formidable people joining the panel. We have the Chief Operating Officer and Executive Director for SAS Textile Limited, the beautiful Tony Bakare. Yes. Represent, you know what I'm saying? You can't be selling textile and you're not clothed. Yes, she's looking the part. So gorgeous, so gorgeous. Yes. Of course, we still have another formidable person who will be joining this panelist today. The Student Life Director for Hagahozo Shalom Youth Village, Brenda Iraba. I just know that gorgeousness must reside somewhere. Yes. All right, so we'll give them, to get into the conversation. Thank you very much, ladies.
Thank you very much, wonderful, beautiful hosts. And thank you everyone once again for joining us. And we're happy to be here. So it's going to be an interactive session. We want you all to listen because you have powerful women here on this table, on this stage, and they're going to teach us and we're going to learn from their experiences. So please stay tuned. And for the guys, for the people online, you're welcome. So to start, we all remember, what is the theme? I'm going to throw in, see, I have brilliant women around us here, but I'm now going to take it from the back. So for the he, for she, who will be the volunteer, who will volunteer to tell us the theme for this conference? Any he, for she in the house to tell us the theme? You can raise up your hand and you tell us your name and you give us the theme for this conference. Or any she that would like to build the he for she. Okay. I know them. They are always ready to take the challenge. Yes. Please stand up and tell us your name. Oh, he said from the seat to the table. You tried. It's part of it. So there is a theme and there is a topic. Right? So, but yes, let's give him a round of applause. He tried. You know how our men are. They don't like the whole thing, but they will just go to the cocoa, the main thing, and tell you what it is. So who is going to tell us what the theme is from the back? A she this time. raise your hand up. Okay. So that means you will all need to pay very good attention to what we are going to do. But I will let the lady in red in front because she told us earlier. And that's, I'm only trying to prove an hypothesis that people, probably you are not listening and you have to listen to us, right? So, Ms. Adeshola, please, can you tell us what the theme is? So it's from inclusion to what? Yes. So let me start. Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you sit in the world. And I would like to say a big thank you for having me here to moderate this session. We said the theme is from inclusion to influence, and the topic where our panelists will be talking about is beyond the seat at the table. How women turn opportunity into power across industries. And what does that mean to us? What you're seeing on this high table are industry experts in different fields. And they're going to take it from, you know, when the host was talking earlier, we've moved away from being in the other room, in being the housewives that does nothing, raising children, not going to school. And now we've been given access, right? And we've all now, what are we doing with the access we've been given? Because for us, having access means we are here. You're in ladies in tech, you're in different industries, wherever you are, whether ladies in tech or in non-tech. What are you doing with the access you are? And that's why the theme is very important for you to understand that we're moving from what? Inclusion to influence. So at this point, let me just go through my... So I haven't made this progress from creating access to us. Today, we are going to explore what the women that I told you about have done and how they've translated the opportunity given to them into real influence. And we're going to be talking to our ladies that from technology to business to entrepreneurship and lastly to youth development. And from the introduction, I'm going to ask the panelists to introduce themselves. They will tell you their names and what they do so that you can have an understanding into exactly what they do. So I will start with Ambassador Dr. Ifeyinwa Kojo. She's actually my rival, right? She works in HP. I work with Dell Technologies. And look at what the host has done. They put two rivals on the stage. But no worry, women, we are the women now. We collaborate to deliver results, right? So I'll give it to Dr. Kojo, the country manager of HP, to introduce herself and tell us what she does. Yes.
All right. Good evening, ladies. Good afternoon or evening?
Easy.
Okay, evening, right? Okay. So, yeah, Queens. My name is Ambassador Dr. Ife Kojo, and I lead the whole business for HPE in Nigeria. So I'm in charge of economics, technology, people, process, name it.
Thank you, Dr. Kojo. And you need to clap very well because I can't have this caliber of women on the stage and we just let it fly. Thank you, Mr. Dr. Kojo. So now that's the technology woman that you're looking at. Now I want to bring, I'm going to invite the woman from business. She's Dr. Crystal Giraneza, right? And she's the founder and CEO of Vitalia Health, right? Yeah, so tell us more. What do you do there? What is Vitalia? What do they offer? And what is your role in there?
Thank you so much. I don't think my mic works. Yeah. Hello, everyone.
Thank you. I'm so glad that you could spell my name so well. So that was so nice. And my name
Thank
is
you.
Christelle Giraneza. And Giraneza actually means do good. And it
Wow.
has always been like a challenge to me from my parents. So it's a random thing. We don't carry like our father's name or our mother's name. We are given our own name. And it's always like a challenge to us because sometimes it holds a message. Yeah, and Giraneza, I like that name, so you guys can call me Giraneza.
Nice, nice.
So I'm the founder and chief executive officer of Italia Health. But surprise, surprise, this is my second company that I started this year. And my first company, I started it 7 years ago when I was in med school, and that is Urukundo Initiative. So I'm founder of 2 health tech and edtech companies.
Fantastic. Please give her a round of applause.
So let me start with the one from 7 years ago because that is still my company as well. So Urukundo Initiative, what we do, we are an edtech company and we are revolutionizing comprehensive sexuality education and life skill education through edutainment. And our flagship product is Urukundo Life Skill Board Game, which we are able to disseminate in different schools across Rwanda. And we are also scaling in other African countries. And recently we scaled in Burundi. Looking forward also to scale in Kenya. And we have an amazing partnership with Agahozo Shalom Youth Village, where we are developing the first life skills facilitator guide to be used in different schools across the country. So that's Urukundo Initiative. And Vitalia Health is a company I started this year. 6 months ago, I was on vacation. So entrepreneurs, sometimes you can have burnout and you want to just take a pause and rest, but you know you can't rest. Especially when there are gaps, like back home. Like I was in Canada, like with my husband, and I was taking just to rest. I was on vacation, and then I realized how health education in Rwanda and across Africa and across the globe still have a huge gap, especially including healthcare providers in the space where other people can learn from them. That's when I started Vitalia Health, which is a health tech company that is joining healthcare providers with the rest of the world. And the way we do it is interactive learning experiences where we bring in healthcare providers and they interact with other people who are interested in health and wellness. And we also have a podcast where we invite experts to talk about diverse topics around health and wellness. So thank you.
Thank you very much. I hope we are learning one or two things. We've seen a technologist, we now see a businesswoman, and now we're going into an entrepreneur. And that's why we're bringing our Madam Toyin Bakari. She's going to tell us about herself and tell us one thing. Because you can't come to this conference and go home. You must be something to either do one or two things together or many things together. So
thank you so much, Yemi, and a very beautiful afternoon to us. So thank you to our convener, the delectable Abiola. We're very proud of you. And a beautiful afternoon to all the beautiful women here. And my name is Oluwatoyin Inumidun Bakari. And, I'm going to take you on a journey. And, that journey, it's not a journey to a boardroom. It's not to a conference like this. It's to a shop floor. Fabrics everywhere. Hashtag Yara Itaja. Voices negotiating. Madam, what's the last price? Madam, what's the discount? Customers asking, what's your best price? That was my world. I was that young girl. I was 13 years old. I helped my mother on the shop floor. At the age of 16, I followed my mother to the market. I followed her to the bank. And at the age of 18, my mother passed away in the most tragic situation. And at that age of 18, I became an entrepreneur. This happened 30 years ago. I stood there. Thank you so much. I stood there day after day, serving, selling, solving problems. And for a long time, that was was enough. And so I thought. But one day in the middle of a very normal, very busy day, a question dropped in my heart. I said, Tony, are you just selling fabrics? Are you building something that will outlive you? And that question disturbed me because activity is easy, business is easy, but building something that lasts requires intentionality. That is my word. Welcome to Oluwatoyin Inumidu Bakare. And beyond that, I also work with my siblings. So we are 7 children. We have worked together for over 30 years. Second generation. First generation is over 55 years. Wow. And we've built from that one-room store to a chain of global stores.
Thank you very much. Thank you, entrepreneur, Madam Toyin Bakare. You can see what she's done. And you see how our women are turning what? Inclusion to what? Influence. So get it. So now we'll move on to the last panelist. Her name, I think she's been introduced already. She's responsible grooming young minds, youth in Rwanda here. She's going to tell us about herself and how she's contributing to the society in that space. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brenda Irawa, and I'm working with awesome people, awesome youth from Rwanda, from vulnerable background. Most of them have lost parents or have been abandoned or are orphans. They don't have identity. They're trying to find that. So we recruit students from all over the country. Thank you. From all districts of the country, and we also take in a small percentage from refugees camps around, that's from Burundi or Congo. Because if you all know our history, some of our young men and women left the country, and different countries also received them, and they had education, and we are trying to also pay it forward. So at Agahozo Shalom Youth Village, I am the Student Life Director, and given the background of the students that we take in, our mission is to restore the rhythm of life by giving them a safe environment that offers healing, love, and education, but also mostly empower them to become the people that they can become to change the world, be problem solvers. One of them is the most awesome man in the house, the he for she, that is Inyas in the house. So if you've seen him, we have great ambassadors wherever you'll go. Anywhere you go in Rwanda, you'll meet an ambassador from Agahozo Shalom, because what Agahozo Shalom does is to help young youth begin their healing journey, dream big, and then go back and heal the world and pay it forward. Thank you very much.
So we've heard directly from the panelists. Now we're going deeper, and they're going to take us into the first question I want to ask. We're going to go round. And the first question here that I would like to start with for every one of you is for you to look at from your career so far, right? What specific decision, action, or turning point helped you move from being included in the room to actually influencing outcomes, and what made that moment possible from business? So I don't know how, if we start with Dr. Kujo. Yes.
Are you targeting me?
Yeah, I'm here for you today.
We agreed to collaborate. All right, thank you so much. Very interesting question. You know, in the days, it has always been diversity, inclusion, having a woman on the table or sitting somewhere behind the desk. Yes? But for you to transition to influence, you need to have business ownership. Let me emphasize ownership. Ownership is intentionality, focus on you, on your purpose and your goal within that space. And you need to own it. Now, for a typical organization, I mean, HPE where I worked. By the way, I'm 21 years in HPE. Wow. Yep. And in getting into HPE, I had a clear purpose and a goal. I got into an organization that had the same vision and value that I had. The same integrity, the same level of purpose that I wanted for my life. And I told myself, I'm not leaving here until I get to the top. Clear. So when people were jumping and moving, I had a purpose, I had clarity on what I wanted to do. And I moved straight from just business to owning the market. Now, if you want to move and have influence in an organization, you must be in the frontline space. Every organization was built for profit. The main characteristics of a business is to make revenue. Find yourself in the revenue space. Own a market. Own the business. Own an enterprise account. Be the revenue driver. Be the contributor in that organization. There is absolutely no way you will not get the visibility that you want. Now, I used to talk to, it's not bad per se for you to be very technical, right? But learn to transition technicality to business. Learn that movement, fluid movement, from technicality to business, from the back end to the front end. That is where you make an impact. Because whoever is directly involved in business growth will grow.
Thank you.
Simple.
Yeah. Thank you. I hope we're taking notes. Now, to our Dr. Christelle. We want to hear your perspective to that.
Yes,
question.
so that is a very interesting question. So for me, I would say, from whenever I hear from inclusion to influence, I'm actually I feel very privileged and very blessed to have been born in a family that never never made me feel like I had to be like excluded from anything, or you don't have a table to sit with us or tell us what you think. So that's from the family level. But then going to my country, Rwanda, women are in position of power. Like, look at Esther Kunda. We have women in different industries. So growing up, I'm 29. So growing up, I saw women who were inspirational to me, like who were my role models. So I never felt like I shouldn't be included. But it became like a challenge to me, especially like when I joined medical school. It was now when I discovered that healthcare providers were put in a box that says you focus on curative medicine. You don't go beyond. So if this is a white coat, this is a stethoscope, you don't have to think otherwise. But that was now in the hospital. And then I had to make peace with what I was seeing in the hospital as a young person and what I was seeing outside of the hospital. People are solving problems outside of the hospital. Inside of the hospital, focus on the patient, focus on the books, focus on the white coat, focus on the stethoscope. But then I had now to claim my table at the hospital and challenge people who are older than me to look beyond that. Be like, okay, you receive a young person who is complaining of abdominal pain. They are 15, they are 16, but you see them as a pediatric patient because that's what the book says. But then we have teenage pregnancy in Rwanda. You don't see beyond that. That was an opening, like a testament to me, because I could see that as doctors, we are just stuck in the books. But then whatever was happening on the outside that was inspirational to me made me realize that I can be a problem solver, even though I'm a medical doctor, and also look beyond it, like preventive medicine. So that's how I claim being included. Thank you.
Did you get that? She created the table. She brought the table that did not exist, and that was how she created influence. Now to Madam Tony.
Thank you so much. For me, we're talking about from influence, from influence to inclusion, inclusion to influence. I'll also add to impact, because it's not just about making influence, it's about us thing. And then for me, one of my turning point, when I had to like make that shift was after I had lost my mother. I had to become resilient. I was an 18-year-old and I was like, I had my dreams in front of me. I wanted to become a chartered accountant, but this was a business that she had started. And we said, okay, people said, no, you must continue the legacy of your mother. But beyond continuing that legacy, we also had to think about the future. We had to think about the values she had built upon. And she had given us the values of excellent customer service. She had given us the values of hard work. She had given us the values of integrity. And so we said we needed to make that impact. And there was something I said. I said that experience changed my perspective. It taught me resilience. It taught me strength. It taught me responsibility. And that's why I always encourage people. I make sure that I love people that from a young age, you're including your children. Your children are learning from you. I remember growing up in that house, and every other of our family friends would send their children for summer. No, our summer wasn't the Yara Itaja. The Yara Itaja was the store. So Yara Itaja simply means a room in the house where they sold fabrics. And at that point, giving up was not easy. My older sister and I call my MD now, we had to step in. We had to continue building on what had already been started. And that period changed my mindset. And we said, we're going to build this legacy. We're going to build industry. And so for us, the first generation was about open adversity. But for us, the second generation was not about creativity. It was about innovation. It was about resilience. So even when the challenges came, and of course the challenges came, building an industry in Nigeria is not easy. One thing I liked about her was that she had introduced us to all our stakeholders. So at that young age of 18, I knew our bankers, I knew our suppliers, I knew our debtors, I knew our creditors. Information is vital. You must never keep information away from your young children, and because I'm in a world where I see people that own businesses, they pass on and they're confused. They don't know what to do. So we one thing over time, I realized that influence for me, that career shift, it came from consistently showing up, solving problems, and contributing meaningfully to growth influence. Because I tell people that in our world, we create solutions in the area of fabrics. If we cannot get you a solution, we create alternatives. But the most important thing is we rise above the challenges and we're focused on our goals.
I hope you're thinking about your circle of influence, because you see that in our story. Dr. Brenda.
I can be a doctor, don't worry.
You
Thank you very much. I'll start my story from when I joined Agahozo Shalom Youth Village. I think I joined as an administrative assistant. And at that point, I remember I joined a meeting. No, fast forward. I joined the village. It was a space that, first of all, empowered women, empowered young girls. I felt it by being in that space. And 2 weeks later, we had a meeting, and I was supposed to be in the meeting. A woman who was slightly older than me, who was a director of HR at the moment, she said, after the meeting, she was like, I didn't know administrative assistants were supposed to speak in meetings. You are an assistant. That's something new to me. I looked at her. She had joined actually 1 week after me. So I had been there before her, and I went like, where are you from? Where are you from? And from that day, it clicked in my head that I have to own my space. I have to make sure that it's not by title, but by what I do, by delivering. And in a span of 6 months, I secured myself getting into one of the biggest projects that Agahozo Shalom has ever had, that was worth $2 million. It's a project. I think she knows the building. She enjoys it whenever she can. You're all invited to come. I did law. I have a law degree. I have nothing close to construction or architectural design or even consultancy or project management at that moment. But I took it on. It was constructed, delivered, and now it's operational. And by the time it was all done, my employer was like, well done, young lady. Now it's time for you to take it on, hire, manage, and run it. And from there and then I was like, do not be shy. Speak your mind. If you want something, ask for it and deliver. I ran it. I had the first team and the best team until now. They're still there. And in a span of 6 months as well, because of how much I was doing, however much it was operational and administrative, I did not go away from inspiring young ladies, giving time to young girls, giving time to also other students, and being included in the projects. That's when I was awarded to become the student life director, and it's the most fruitful and most fulfilling job that I've ever had, of working with 512 students, women of 45 to 60 years of age, and also a young dynamic team of young people that are into tech and creativity and leadership all together. So, and it's called the fun department, in my view. So I think that's when my turning point came into, when the woman said, no administrative assistant is supposed to speak in the meeting.
Wow. So from my experience.
We're now going to go deeper, because when someone tells you you can't do it, don't let them define who you are. Take it up and challenge them and take it to the next level.
Now we're going deeper. We thank you all for sharing your insights into the different areas that you've shared with us, how you influence your area of expertise. Now, I'm going to Ambassador Dr. Kojo. Right? You work for a multinational company, right? What does it take for a woman to move from leadership role into position when they shape market strategy and revenue outcomes? That's one. And secondly, African women in tech position themselves for global leadership opportunities, other than being limited to local execution roles. You've mentioned it, so you have only one minute because of time to summarize and tell us more about that.
Okay, so typically, like every other global organization, and I think that the methodologies are almost the same, right? For you to shift from that level of leadership to influence, again, it's all about your mindset, yes? Your ability to get involved in conversations, communications that are strategic. Don't shy away from getting involved, okay? Be visible. I don't know who told us women that ambition is wrong. Somebody said that, and we have imbibed it and we have held it. It's not purposeful, valuable ambition is the best thing for you. Go for it. Now, for African ladies, what I would say to you is this. I totally, completely believe that women are transformational. There is nothing you give to a woman that she cannot transition, innovate, recreate, and deliver for you. Yes? So, pay attention. First is awareness. Be aware of your industry. What is globally acceptable in your industry? All right? Already we are in tech. Tech is very relevant globally. So, hold it, harm it, harness it, deliver it. Be a subject matter expert in something. Specialize and take it up. Yes? Secondly, you know, they tell you about mentorship. I tell you about sponsorship. find a sponsor. Find a voice up there where your legs and your voice cannot get into, but the person can speak to you and speak for you. But for you to get that sponsorship, you need to have something they call trust. You need to be trusted. In your character, in your delivery, in your growth, you need to have that trust. And somebody will speak for you one day.
Now we go to Dr. Christelle. You're a founder and a CEO at the same time. In an emerging market like Africa that we are in, how did you turn early stage constraints into leverage for growth and influence? That's one. And secondly, what distinguishes founders who remain small from those who build influence across industries or regions?
Thank you for that question. So let me use 4 words, and then I'll clarify those 4 words as I give my answer. I say first, clarity, credibility, user-centeredness, and then the 4th, needs research. So let me start with needs research. Before you solve any problem as a founder, you need to first understand the problem. Before, I didn't really grasp the importance of that until I didn't do it. And then I'm doing it better now. Like, you think of a problem and you jump into a solution right away without understanding the need, without understanding the problem that you are solving, without doing the need research and understanding the people that I'm solving this problem for are these certain people. These are their needs, and this is the solution that will be ideal for them. So when you are an innovator and you are a tech woman and you are ambitious and you're looking for impact, you're just like, I need to jump to the solution before time is gone. But then if you don't understand the problem, that's a big gap as well. So secondly, clarity. Clarity in the market. So we are in emerging African market. Sometimes we wake up, funding is low. You need to search for other routes to get the resources to actually build your company. How do you tap into partnerships? How do you believe in your own ability and your own value as well as a founder? Because whenever you're building a solution, you think about money, but is it only money? Because we also have human resources, we have skills, and how do you leverage that and technology to build your solution? And when we say about technology and we say technology, we think that it's a new thing. It has always been there. We are all Apple users. We use iPhone. And we say artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence has always been there. But right now that everyone is talking about it, that's when we are like, oh, I'm left behind. Let me think about how to use this emerging technology. But then curiosity is key. And then user-centeredness. So all the companies that I've built throughout the years were for vulnerable people. So adolescent and young people who don't directly pay for the solutions. So how do you position yourself in the community that you're building for in order to be an entrepreneur, be ambitious, have impact, but get to your users? Like, who do you partner with? And how do you tell your story as a founder? Going back to credibility. You are a medical doctor, but you're tapping into being a founder. How are you building credibility for your partners? So for me as a founder, I found that it's necessary to tap into education. I didn't stop learning. Even being a founder and a business, guys, don't ask me how I did it. I don't know too. I was a founder, and then I decided to go for my master's in global health delivery, specifically in gender and sexual and reproductive health, to understand the policies in the market that I was building into. And that's building credibility, because I could sit and pitch my solution, but I need to pitch how I'm credible to build that solution. It didn't stop from there. Emerging technologies, medical devices. Then I went for East African Biodesign Fellowship Program. And guys, I'm not stopping here. Like,
Yeah.
send me something
Right
to
on.
learn, to build more, and I would do it. So sometimes we are focused on building, and we forget that at the end of the day, as an African woman, and as a tech woman, and also as a female founder, unfortunately, you need to always prove your credibility, especially in a male-dominated field or in a male-dominated market. But now, if you add in Africa, that's something else. so that's how I would answer your question.
Thank you. Madam Toyi Bakari, you're in the manufacturing and textile industry, where execution is everything. How did you establish authority in spaces where are traditionally a male-dominated industry? And secondly, what does power look like to you? In an operations-heavy role, how can women intentionally build it?
So much. There's something I want to say. For years, women have fought for a seat at the table. But today, I want us to take it deeper. You know, what happens after you finally sit down? Because you see, proximity is not about, proximity to power is not the same as power. So I tell people that the real goal is not just to enter the room, but the real goal is to build institutions. The real goal is to create wealth. The real goal is to drive innovation. And the real goal for me is for you to enter that room and leave it stronger than I met it. And, you know, we could have given up at that young age. But, you know, every day I hear stories like, oh, your mother must be so proud of you. Because, you know, we've taken it to a level where, you know, we're serving presidents. We're making sure we're providing solutions. So now, you asked a question. And you said something about manufacturing, right? Yeah, there was something I came up with. Okay, so you said in manufacturing and textiles where execution is everything now. So for me, I tell people that manufacturing is not just part of my industry, it's actually my life story. You know, from that very young age, you know, I was exposed to the realities of trade. I followed my mother to the market. I'm a chartered accountant. You know, I had my dreams of working in Chevron. But, you know, I just had to continue the family business. And of course, so going at that young age to foreign countries, and I saw manufacturing. I said, we must do this in our country. And actually that journey taught me that leadership is not about gender, but it's about resilience. And a lot of us women, we don't know the strengths that we have on our inside. And so for us in this industry, it's traditionally male dominated, but one thing that we established authority by understanding the business deeply. But one thing I also tell people that we had to develop organically, because for me, I realized that business is about systems, it's about structures, it's about processes. I also told my siblings, I said we must get to that point where your business, you are working on your business and you are not working in your business. So I began to understand, so please clock it. Yes, so you are working on your business and not working in your business. Remember, I was born on the shop floor. I enjoyed working in the business. I enjoyed seeing the customers. I enjoyed, it was interesting just attending. But after a while, when we started to do business development, opening new branches, for every new branch, they would say, Tony, go to Ikoyi, go and open this branch, go to ShopRite. I was doing new branches. It wasn't easy building, but I had to reinforce those values of excellent customer service. And we had an amazing team. We have our oldest staff has worked with us for over 30 years. She still called me this morning. She's over 80. You know, we have people that have worked with us for 20, 15, but together, these are people. That's what I'm talking about, from this thing about inclusion to influence to impact. We see transformation. We see that young girl that was walking on the street and she comes into our organization, she goes to school, she gets her university education, she becomes from the OCA, and we've seen a lot of them, and they are now managers. They are serving presidents, they are serving people in government, and they are doing an amazing job. So you said something. You said, what does power look like? I tell people that women are capable of achieving extraordinary things when they truly set their minds to it. Resilience is powerful, but when it's combined with vision and hard work, resilience means a lot to us. Because resilience for me is in the year 2020, during the COVID year. Remember during the COVID year, not just we were resilient. We didn't give up. We had to innovate. We had to start doing deliveries. We had to start dealing with technology. We said no, not for one day. Is our business going to go down? But not only did COVID happen, NSAS happened. I don't know how many of you remember the NSAS. 3 of our branches were vandalized. They were looted. People were calling to say, oh, so sorry. But a year before that, 2020, we had lost our warehouse in a fire. And we said, people were saying, oh, we're so. I said, no, we're coming out stronger. It's going to end in praise. And you know, for us, that resilience was, my house now became a shop. And for 2 months, we built all our branches back. And in the space of after 2 months, not only did we build our branches back, we even opened new branches. We opened the sales outlet. Resilience for us, we don't give up because we see the value. We see our team that have worked with us for 30 years. We see them. What are they going to do? I saw my team resuming at my house every day. I saw the community. I saw the network. That is what power is. It's not about giving up. You know, I don't even describe it as power. I describe it as ability, because the real ability lies in influencing outcomes, solving problems, building sustainable systems, and creating growth even in challenging environments. So let me just round up. In our own journey at SAS, resilience has been one of the strongest values that shaped us. You know, that first generation, they built the foundation through adversity and sacrifice, while our own generation continues to build through resilience, innovation, and determination. And we're even having a third generation. My daughter, she's just a teenager, she's 15. She's already started her business. She does the beats that I'm wearing. This is Beats by Epumi, but we're passing it on. Clock it, clock it, clock it. Involve your children. Let them start young. So for women who want to grow in leadership, my advice is simple. Don't limit yourself. Follow your passion. Understand the business deeply. Take ownership, like Ambassador said. Continue learning and never understand the value of consistency. And lastly, ability grows when preparation meets opportunity. And resilience is often what keeps women standing long enough to succeed. We have come all the way from Nigeria. We didn't come and eat Rwanda chicken alone. Why? Well, we have come to empower ourselves. We love you so much. We are proud of you. Thank you for entering that long flight. You know, thank you for taking the risk. This is what leadership is all about. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That was really insightful. And lastly, Brenda Irabo, from your work shaping young leaders and youths, what patterns do you see in how young women begin to step into influence early? That's one. And secondly, how can institutions move beyond empowering programs to actually producing women who lead and shape systems? Right.
Thank you very much. Are we not empowered from just listening to the awesome ladies? So imagine if we had other 343 young ladies in the house today. They would be empowered, definitely. But the pattern that young girls or young people that come to ASYV come with are not different from any other girl or any other boy out there. Maybe the boys, because of our culture and all that, might be different. But for the girls, they are empowered to be leaders and to be responsible by the time they start working. It is do this as a lady, do this as a girl. So you learn how to cook with your mother. You learn how to start being responsible in different areas. I'm not home, take care of the house. That's leadership. So the pattern is there. Now, given the fact that most of our young youth that come to us are from vulnerable backgrounds, this is something that they learn just like she did at 18, but now for us, they even come earlier than that. We take them in at the age of 15, but there are those who start those roles at the age of 6, 5, being leaders of their households, being leaders of their other younger siblings. So being responsible and being a leader is a pattern that they all come with. But with all that, with a traumatic background, there is loss. There is not being able to get meals. There is a lot of trauma that they come with. So at ASYV, when they come in, all we do is to give them that space, give them possibilities, empower them, and then they will flourish as they move forward. You see it that if you tell them this is 4 years, and usually we tell them this is a supermarket, grab what you want, and let's see what you use it for. And you can see how definitely ladies come in with those patterns. They are leaders, they are responsible. All they need is that space where they can dream, where they can aspire, where they can see other people, role models, women in leadership. We have now at our institution, we have at least 60% of women in leadership. So they really learn from the time they enter the village that they can make it, that they are able to do everything. Your second question was about systems. There is one thing that it's not only from the young ladies that we are having, but all of us as women in the room today. We all have learned from our parents how business was done. We all have how mothers have been treated by our fathers, which is also a traumatic background that we have. We've learned how to become bossy because we need people to fear us in positions of power. So we are doing it all wrong, because let's start from work. People will hurt you, right? You will put in a lot of effort to deliver because those people that you're working with don't really understand you. Marriages today, it's not a secret. Even our president was asking, what is happening? Why are we having a high rate of divorce at this point? But it's all because of our country. It's a transgenerational trauma. And yes, we have been empowered. And yes, we've seen what our parents or our aunties or people in the community, women, how they've been treated by their husbands. And that's not what we want today. And this is what even our younger girls that we have are going to bring to the market. Those are the systems, because they're not equipped with the right tools. Of recent, they have been, I was at a training, just like she said, we love learning every day and all the time. It's called a trust-based relational intervention. But it's not tools to use in only schools. It's a tool to use in the workplace. It's a tool to use in parenting. How do we raise our kids? How do we really understand the need behind the behavior? Why is a kid throwing a tantrum? Why is a husband behaving the way they're behaving? Why is my boss or my subordinate being late every day instead of going, you're late, you should go to HR and get a letter, right? Connecting with the people, those are tools that we should have, because inclusion, let's all agree, it's happening, right? All governments are working on that. School education is available for both boys and girls, right? Jobs are available, but we don't have the tools to now go into the systems, to now go into the job, to now go on the market and connect with the people. And as we're connecting, as Esther said, you open doors, you're empowering other people. How do you empower people that you're with, despite their sex, male or female? How do you now also be meaningful in correcting whatever is happening? Because it's not going to be a bed of roses if you have the two rules. But how do you correct them? And those are the tools that we need. We also need mentorship spaces. For example, in Rwanda, we have what we call Get Consulting. It's where you get, it's the same as this space, but now it's women who are in tech, CEOs, finance, leadership, all coming together to meet the younger generation. So we equip them with tools, and once we correct that, being able for them to have the soft skills and the life skills, not saying, you've been empowered, now go and rule, go and be a leader, go and be a change maker. No, it's connecting, because relationships that we create, the trust, builds the life that we want to have, builds the families that we want to have, the country we want to have, and the world we want to have. So thank you very much.
I know the audience, you've been listening to us, and I hope we're not boring you. You're learning, you're picking it. Oh, excellent. I can feel the energy. So after this next round, I'm going to throw it to the audience. Start preparing your questions, your comments before we round it up. So from our leaders, you've shared quite a lot today. Now, and I believe it's not going to be it's not been all rosy all the while. And that's why I want you to take last few seconds. We're going to go around. Share your challenges and lessons learned from your experiences, from what you, in the different spaces you've been in, and let's learn from them. Any challenges, lessons learned? Let's start with Dr. J.
Thank you. I would say that my challenge was actually self-inflicted. Yes, it was. Let me give you a story. I actually wanted to grow. I saw a role I wanted in the organization. And I went to my mentor and I kept whining about how, there are 9 men going for that role. And they asked me to go for the role. And I said, no, I wasn't going to go for it because 9 men were already there. And I went to my mentor and I was whining. And the man looked me in the face. And I said, so they said gender inclusion and everything, and 9 men are already in the position, And then he said, who excluded you? That was the question he asked me. Who excluded you? And I went back. And I applied for that role. And he said to me, you do not need anybody's permission to be who you want to be. Nobody excluded you. You excluded yourself. I did go for that position and I beat the 9 men and I got the position. Now, what I want to get out of this is this. There needs to be a mind shift. We are the ones holding ourselves back. There's nobody holding you. Rethink you. How do you think about you? In my position today, I call young girls and I say, I want you to do this. He said, me? Seriously, me? I asked a receptionist, our receptionist. I said, I need you in this role. She didn't sleep for 2 nights. She was scared. Guess what? 6 months down the line, she was the best performing in that role. She knew she could do it, but she was scared. We are scared as women, and I don't know what's scaring us. So our greatest challenge is our fear. Stop being afraid.
Dr. Christel, challenges and lessons. It is. Everything we do here stays here.
Okay. So if this is a safe space, then I can share one of the challenges that I had as a founder who was passionate, and I had a vision with my team to bring from A to Z. And one of the challenges that I had is that I could sit in the room with my 3 other co-founders who are men, and in our shareholder meeting, they would tell me, Christel, take notes. And if we are taking a decision as shareholders, they'll be like, okay, shareholder number 1, shareholder number 2, shareholder number 3, Christel, write that. And because I was a vision holder, and the problem that we were solving at Urukundo Initiative involved vulnerable young people, young girls, young women. Guess who was pitching and who read all the partnerships and who were on all panels pitching and getting funding? Me. And you know what my male co-founders were telling me? It's because we live in Rwanda and Rwanda is for women empowerment. So if you get on the stage and pitch, we'll get the money. But if I get on the stage, I won't get the money. So me, I believe that all the time, all the 7 years that I was in my company and pitching was because I was a female founder. Today, I'm a founder, not a female founder. So that's something I'm unlearning, self-awareness and self-confidence. To the point that one day, one of the judges in a pitch competition specifically told me that I don't have confidence because I was about to answer a question and my male co-founder interjected. And we received an email, okay, you won this pitch competition, but we need to instill more confidence into the female co-founders. That shocked me. So Ambassador and my other businesswoman up here, they talked about impact, but they talk about business ownership as opposed to self-employment. So today, I'm learning to be a business owner. So my team, I'm first telling them we are equals here. That's number one. We have a vision. You either believe in this vision or you're out. And secondly, the vision holder is me. So you want to hold the vision, you have to earn it. And you have to earn also being on this table. I've realized men have done that for centuries. But as when we are doing it, we take our companies, we make it like our babies. But then when it comes to co-parenting with the other co-founders, they are bossing us around. And they don't even acknowledge what you're doing as the other co-parent, the other vision holder. So thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. And, oh no, we've had a lot of challenges. Of course, the first challenge was losing your founder at that age. And she was a breadwinner. So we could say, are we going to fold our hands and be traumatized? Or we decided to rise above it and we decided to build. Now, I think it was about 2016 or 2018, when the Forex, because our business is very Forex dependent, when that happened, and a lot of businesses, money rose like 300%. And people were saying, oh, we're not going to do business again. A lot of entrepreneurs I knew, they stopped. They said, when the dollar comes down, we're going to continue. But we said no. That was where I learned the power of negotiation. Now, for every challenge you have, you must learn to look inward and bring out that strength. And of course, negotiation with your stakeholders, and we found ourselves, because we have a lot, part of our values are empathy. So in the midst of those challenges, and we are a very social economy, people still want to look good. But the most important is that they come and they see that in the midst of a rising economy, we didn't give up. Now, I think the final challenge for us was when the NSAS happened, and I'd already spoken about it. But a few weeks ago, I just woke up. God was saying to me that I heard the word transactional. And he said, you need to move from relationship to transactional. And I said, that's very interesting. And I said something. You see, transactional marketing, our founder was a very relational person. Now, when I tell you that relationships matter, not women that rise, they understand what transactional capital is. It's not about collecting contacts, but it's about building trust. It's about building integrity. It's about building loyalty, And I will just say one story. So when this NSAS happened, and we had lost about 2 stores, we had lost the warehouse before, and people thought it was over. And long story short was that the government wasn't there to support us. Now, but because we're future thinking, we just started to continue our business, rebuild. In fact, I said, even this shop, it's been so busy. When you have a shop and you cannot close it down, but you want to renovate it. So it was an opportunity for us to renovate. So we renovated from the roof to changing the tiles. The next thing, people started asking for our account details. We had 5 stores then. From 5 stores, it became only 1 store. And of course, my house that became the right. Now people started saying, they'll go to our store in Ikoyi and they'll say, we heard what happened to you guys. Please give 1 million to your sisters. People were giving us millions. I had never seen that type of thing before. I would go to the furniture store to change furniture. Madam DOT will say, oh, we heard what happened. Please don't pay. I will go and pay for electricity. Please don't pay. I want to change wallpaper. At one point, I broke down in tears. I did not know our business had such goodwill. I did not know we were making such impact. The love was phenomenal. Phenomenal. All I'm just trying to say is that 5 years, this is 6 years after NSAS, in that building where we are, there's still a lot of stores that have not reopened. I still go to that mall and I see stores with the glass still on the floor. It was like a war zone. But we chose to rise above that challenge. So in the midst of your challenge, look at the solution inside and think about the value that you want to add to people. So when we saw all the love, we said we are not giving up. We are marching forward and we'll continue to build and outlive. Thank you.
Yes, so you give us. I hope you have your questions now. She's the last. After sharing our challenges, then we go into question and answer. Right.
I'll start with what Madam Ambassador said. We are afraid of failure, and it's not something that we learn when we're given positions or opportunities or when we start working. It's something that, we inherit from at a young age of being a young girl. When you do something and you're told, that's bad. But a boy is told something different. That's why they will be risk takers. That's why they will take on anything. A guy will wake up and say, I'll not go back to this job and leave that job. But for a woman, you'll be like, what will I go to? What will I do? So you have a lot of things going on. What if I fail? What if I fail to get another job? And you get comfortable where you are. But a man, because they're told, once you fail, you can try it again. So that's something that, that's the biggest challenge that I also encountered as a young woman. But also, in the mix of not being afraid of failure, we have what we call women on the same table or in the same space, where because they're afraid of failure, they now fight you, right? They fight you, and in that moment, when you listen to them, if you don't listen to them, they'll bring the whole world behind you against you to fall. They'll be the one that will bring you down. So it is one thing being afraid, but also not having solidarity amongst women to say that you can do it. You are a problem solver. If you fail, they'll say, stand up, let's find a way out. But they'll be the one who will gossip behind your backs. They'll be the ones that will be like, you see, that's what has happened. And in our culture, they say, once you're a risk taker, they give you another name. It's, I don't know how I can call it in English. They call it gushanuka. If you're outspoken as a woman, right, in Rwanda, and if you're not afraid of taking risks, then you're labeled. And once you fail, everyone will know that you failed and they will laugh at you. So that is the biggest challenge that I've ever had.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Please, can you give my panelists a big round of applause, please? Thank you very much. Now, to the house. How many questions do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So we take it. Do you want me to take all the questions at once and we take the answers? Yes. Okay. Addition.
Hello. Okay.
So first of all, I'd like to say a big thank you to the convener. And again, a very big thank you to all the panelists for sharing your experience. In fact, when I think I've cried once here, but when you were sharing your story, because I kind of have an idea when Momsi died. So it just kind of relieved, and how you've been able to pull through that actually got me weepy. And just listening to my competitor. Yeah. Honestly, I've always admired her from afar. But I think one day, okay, let me just say this. Sorry, it's a question I'm going to throw to you anyway. I was talking to Mrs. Eke, and I was saying, how can a woman actually be a country manager? I said, Ike, don't you know Ife? I said, which Ife? The fair Ife? No, he said, no, another Ife. I said, really, another Ife? I never got to meet you till I met you at TS5, baby naming. And I'm like, oh, so this is the Ife. Ah, she's like me, or short like me, and all that. And honestly, I've learned a lot from everything she said, because I'm a very outspoken person, and I'm a one-man soldier. She knows me. I don't wait for people's validation. I just do me. But I think one thing I did not learn is sponsorship. I feel sponsorship is something that we are trying to lobby yourself to be recognized, or to, and I think that's something I've missed in all my journey. I've been working now for over 22 years, 25 years, I would say, right? And I've been in tech for more than 20 years. So learning from you, honestly, if this is the only thing I've gotten here, I'm blessed. I was, my manager, my director was like, Nika, why are you not going to Vegas? I'm like, what will Vegas do for me? And when she said women in tech on Friday, it was just Friday she told me. I like, why did you tell me? Why, I immediately, I said, book my flight, everything, blah, blah, I'm going. And coming here, I've learned so much. I'm just coming out with my own business, right? I just started about 3 weeks ago. And it's been moving. I've learned from you. I'm so challenged. It's not a question. It's just an appreciation for you amazing women. Thank you. Thank you again to the convener. And thank you for your experiences that you shared. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Oh, yeah? The right wing.
Thank you. My name is Aderonke Shugwala. Once again, I lead the data strategy and governance team at eTransact International PLC. My question is to Ambassador Dr. Ife Kojo. And there was something you said about you being with HP for 21 years. I've been with eTransact for 15 years. If I add my internship, that's 17 years. And there's this thing about being a long staff in a particular company, right? And then you mentioned something about having trust, being somebody that's trustworthy, and having that sponsorship. But I still feel there's this extra that we need to do and we need to have as women. Now, I called your name Ambassador Doctor. Now, why did you, or how did it happen, being an ambassador and being a doctor, and did that influence your current position? Because honestly, I'm thinking of it myself. Looking at you, I'm looking at myself in probably another 10 years, or if not less, right? If not less. So I just want to know, what extra do people like us have to do to get there? Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, sweetheart. And you won't get up to 10 years. I'll give you 3. You'll get there. Because you are very smart, you're very intelligent, and you look it and you dress it. Okay? And what you need to do is to pay attention. Just pay attention. Okay, so for me, like I said, I am very, very intentional. Very intentional and very focused. I set a goal for myself. And inside HP, within that 21, I transcended through very critical positions. After that first comment from my mentor, where he asked me who excluded you, I decided to include myself. in conversations, in communications, in projects that were very relevant. And I started paying attention to conferences and meeting people outside my locality and region. You know, when Lolo was telling us, when you come for a conference like this, make friends. Sweetheart, if your organization has those global conferences, go. And when you go, look for those directors. If they don't have, look for yourself and go. I'm telling you, sponsor yourself. Now, I had a program, and that program gave me a formula. Let me give it to you. 888. There are 24 hours in a day, right? 8 hours belongs to your employer. 8 hours is for your sleep. 8 hours belongs to you. Now the question is, what are you doing with your 8 hours? Seriously, what are you doing with your 8 hours? That 8 hours is your personal 8 hours for your personal development. I have a degree in industrial chemistry. I have a master's in industrial chemistry. I have an MBA from Business Schools of Netherlands. I have 2 PhDs. Yeah. I have 2 PhDs. 1 PhD in business administration and 1 in cybersecurity. What do? Every day I wake up by 3 o'clock and I read till 5 o'clock. That's when I start any activity, 2 hours of that day, because I'm a morning person. My greatest productivity time is morning. Once it's 12 o'clock, I'm done. Anything you're telling me is passing through my head. I'm done. The only activity I do from 12 down is maybe customer visitation, partner visitation. I don't do anything that has brain work. But 3 to 5, I sit down and I read. I'm going to give you something. Please go and get this book, As a Man Thinketh in His Heart. Please go. Read it. It will change everything.
No, good evening, everyone. Thank you to the panelists for sharing your knowledge and experience with us. Now, throughout the course of the conversation, I've been able to pick 1 or 2 things, but I'd like you to share on more practical tips. Once you get the influence, how do you create space for other women at the table? We're so busy with the different aspects of our lives, being moms, being wives, being employers. When you do get to that boardroom and you have your place at the table, what are some of the things that we can do? Mrs. Bakare talked about involving your children from early on. That is one thing that I'm taking back with me. Someone else talked about sponsorship. That's also one thing that I'm taking back with me, earning that trust to be sponsored in the rooms that I can't get into. But what other practicable tips can we apply in terms of making space for the next woman? In terms of saying, Aderonke, I've prepared this table for you. Sit down and be full.
It's very easy. What do you love to do? And who is the next woman that you want to inspire? So it is, do you love cooking? Invite your next person that you want to inspire to come and cook with them. Create a space where you have time, your time, and make it a space where you can now inspire other young ladies, the next person in the door. We cannot have time, just like she said. You cannot have time for friends, for everything, but if you create time, create the space, then you will. And trust me, it might even be a lunch table. That table will inspire more girls, more women than you would believe. It's just giving them the space to listen to them and have a conversation with them. That's it. Or even a walk. If you do sports, walk with them. So create time. It doesn't have to be a conference or having a big space to say, I'll organize, invest this to have a space to inspire other women. That's in your time. Just pull 1, 2, and that's it.
Thank you. And she also she cited an example that in her office, there was a lady on the front desk, and she actually asked her to take on a position which she was afraid to take it, but she became better and she was even the best in it. So what is your passion?
find your passion and look for someone else to pass it on to. Right. Who is next? Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Thanks for this insightful and enlightening program. I've really been blessed. The first time I saw this program, she usually send, as a convener, usually send the programs to me. When I saw it, I said, Kigali, I would have loved to attend this program. So, well, I looked away, but my mind didn't leave there. Along the line, my mother passed, and they fixed the burial for this month, in fact, next week. So, I looked at it and I said, look, my friends are even setting up platforms to raise funds for me. Is it right for me to come for this program? Honestly, I sent a message to her that, how about this program? Is it late for me to attend? And she said, no, I should talk with her. She gave me Shewa's number. I started chatting with her. And along the line, I said, okay, let me take this step. It wasn't an easy one because so much bills was waiting at the background for my mother's burial and all that. But I just had to brave it. And I don't know whether this is a question or a contribution, but sometimes you want to take a step and you just find out that there are obstacles on your way. You must be resolute, determined, to go forth. And I think that's the step that brought me here. And honestly, coming here has changed my perception because I see a lot of, I hear, I've been listening to these speakers, and honestly, I'm not sure my life will remain the same after this session.
In fact, we should give a round of applause to the convener because putting this together is not a small thing at all. And thank you for sharing.
One more question.
Yeah.
Yes.
See them.
Okay,
let's ask all the questions together, then we
it depends so that they can remember.
Okay, thank you. I have a very practical question. In your companies, yes, what kind of technology that your teams mostly use? Very simple. What works and what would you recommend? That goes for everyone.
They want to answer that quickly.
No, Dell.
Okay, so I work for an original equipment manufacturer. So HPE, we produce the technology that everybody uses. Andel. I told you we'll collaborate. Andel. We are number one, they are number two.
All right, the next question.
Yes,
Okay.
maybe I can respond to you as well. So I said I did medicine. So I invented another technology, answering to her as well, collaboration. So I have a knowledge, I have skills, but I want to solve a problem. So who are the people in my circle that I can collaborate with in order to work on a certain solution? So both at Rukundo Initiative and Vitalia, we are leveraging artificial intelligence. And we are working in our team. We have people who mastered artificial intelligence, software engineers, programmers, name it. And in Vitalia Health, it's only women. Because guys, I'm a little bit traumatized by men at this point.
Wow.
Yes. Okay, so for us, we had to invent a lot of ARP solutions. In the early days of our business, we're still using manual. We wrote invoices with the hands. But, I remember when our chairman joined us, which is my brother, it came in and it computerized the whole system. I mean, so we're now real time online. From one branch, we can see the stock, we can see what we're looking for, a particular stock, and we know who has sold it. So we had to introduce fabric scanners. We had to introduce barcodes. So every fabric is barcoded. So we went from being manual to fully being automated. And of course, collaboration is very important as well.
All right, let's ask the last question.
Sorry, I will use HP and Dell.
All right, the last question, or before the answer.
All right, thank you very much. My question goes to Dr. Ife. You've been with your organization for so long. You said 25 years. 21 years. That's a good number of years to have, understood that the politics that plays out within the organization and all of that. You mentioned something about sponsorship, not mentorship, right? And one could look at sponsorship as being trying to lure certain people in high places, right, within the organization so that they can be of help to you to get the things that you want, right? I don't know if you could liken it to what I've just said. But if you don't liken it to what I've just said, and you eventually get a sponsor within the organization, and you get a seat at the table, what practical steps, like she asked, would you suggest that a female or a lady takes, aside from blocking your ears to the various noise that comes with being, having a sponsor one, and then also for other ladies who try to, put other ladies down? And I see that as a real sense of low self-esteem. Because if you are confident in yourself enough, you shouldn't in any way put other people down. In any way. So if you have that low self-esteem and you think you want to put the other person down, aside blocking your ears from all those distractions that comes with it, what are other practical steps you can take as a woman to forge ahead within the organization? Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Very, very, very critical question. And we please need to listen. Let me tell you something that BSN taught me. All right? We were in a class in BSM where they were talking about corporate politics. Good. And I told the lecturer, the professor, that I do not like politics, and I don't play office politics. You know what he told me? And he says, you don't have to like it. It's a game. Learn the rules. Simple. Guys, simple. You are in the midst of men. Pay attention. You see, there is one thing very unique about men. No matter how much they hate themselves, all it takes is a bottle of Hennessy. Bottle of Hennessy in a bar, and the problem is resolved. But you and I, we not even talk to each other for 1 month. You see this Nike? Nike saw me since when? Is it not today you talk to me? Because Nike feels I'm her competition. That's women for you. That's women. You see, the same thing they will do naturally. You do it, you feel guilty. What are you guilty about? What's your guilt? So no, sweetheart, sponsorship is not lobbying. Sponsorship is having a voice above you.
Yes, ma'am.
It's a voice above you. You need a voice above you. You cannot be in every place at every time. So you need someone who is in a place very high up, who has seen you, and you need to be seen. And you need to place yourself in a position to be seen. You see, you must learn to leave distractions alone. Noise, you said it. Leave the noise alone. Focus on your focus. Who said that?
Thank you.
Focus on your focus. You see, if you do the right thing, they will talk. If you do the wrong thing, they will talk. What's your problem now? Do the right thing.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Ife, we have one more. We have a he for she who has been wanting to ask a question.
Can I please add
and that's
something?
the last question
Just
that will
one
be
thing.
taken. Oh,
And you do not need only one sponsor. Get many sponsors. You choose how many sponsors across all areas that you want. Give them hearts, blue, purple, white. You might need a sponsor of mental health, the person that you share with. You might need a sponsor that will challenge you to do greater things. You will have a sponsor that you know this person will put a hand and an arm for you. So choose your sponsors and give them hearts and make sure that they are relevant, not dormant.
Thank you. Let's take the last question because we have to move very quickly, please.
So good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So I really enjoyed the conversation here,
Oh.
and you guys really built a wonderful legacy, and it's really a wonderful thing. So does anybody knows who Ada Lovers is?
Who?
Ada Lovers. Yeah, she's the first person who created a computer program. So my question is, sometimes
Use your mic.
yeah, so it's good. So sometimes women's contributions are overlooked. So in tech, today, women in tech. So how can women in tech build lasting influence and make sure their work is remembered?
Okay. Thank you very much. Who wants to take that? Did you get the question?
Can women in tech build lasting influence and make sure that your work is remembered? It's all about building legacy. It's all about being authentic. It's all about taking ownership. There's something I teach people. There's something, we all talk about the emotional intelligence. As women in tech, we must be emotionally intelligent. Now, we add the intelligence quotient. Now, the one I talk about is the values quotient. What value are you bringing? What extra mile are you taking? So for us to be remembered with whatever solutions that we're bringing on board, leave a memory. In our own workspace, for instance, I do things that carry value that people will remember you for. I have people that when they were going to get married, they told me that my mother sold to them. Now their children are getting married. We are selling for them. But there was even one that touched me last week. She said, I bought this fabric for you 10 years ago when I was going to get married. Now, she's wearing the same fabric 10 years after for her 10th wedding, and not a single stone came out. So that whatever we're doing, be authentic. Be authentic. One of our mentors, Mrs. Awoshika, she says, to yourself, be true. So for you to leave a lasting legacy, do it with a heart of empathy. Go the extra mile. Be authentic. Never compromise your quality. A good name is better than silver and gold. You mentioned somebody's name now. We're still, what we did, we talk about the people that built the first aeroplane. They did it with originality, they did it with intentionality. Whatever we're doing, we're not just doing it anyhow, we're doing it with all our hearts because we are building institutions that would outlive us. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
A car, I don't know if it's any of the Rwandan guests that have the car. RAG 157C. Please, you need to repark immediately. They are removing your tires right now.
All right. So
is that your car? Ladies, I know that this session is awesome. And one hand will lead to two.
Yes. And
we have one more session before we go. Just a tiny bit. And I will stay there. Ask your question. Just 2 seconds. And my time starts counting now.
It's not even a question. I want to attest to what she just said about quality. I did my wedding ashwabi at SARS, and that's like 20-something years ago. If I wear it today, it's still relevant. Like, it's still...
Wow.
Yes, it's evergreen. So I can attest to that quality.
Good.
And she knows that that's my go-to place for any...
Thanks.
Yes.
So patronize us, guys, ladies.
Thank you for your attestation.
So
we shall go to the next testimony giver. What the Lord did, and that's all.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I just want to say thank you for the privilege to be here. I actually paid to be here. I sponsored myself to be here. And listening to this session, I think just confirmed the reason why I came. I'll just say something briefly. So I've been in digital banking for the longest I can remember. And just last year, July, I was moved to sales. I was going to resign because I was afraid. I didn't think I could do it, right? Target and all of that. But I took 3 weeks to wait on God and to seek, his direction. And all I heard was, stay here, I am with you. So it's important in everything that we do, we must seek the face of God, right? And staying there, this is May. In November, we cut our budget for 2026. When I took over my team, we were on 1 billion in risk assets. We closed the year with 4 billion. And from 4 billion, I was given a target of 23 billion to be done in 2026. As I speak to you, I have met my target for the year.
Wow.
Right. And it's not just about that. But what God did for me was, because I sought his face, in January, right, there was a transaction that I did in December. And my MD said, we need more of this. And I didn't know where to go. I didn't know who to talk to. But I sought God's face. And I had a dream, and he led me into what to do. And I did that. I led my organization to sign a 100 billion MOU. And that's what has helped me. In saying all of this, I remember when I met my team, I told them that in 2026, the target we've been given, we would exceed it. So I taught my team the power of confession, right? It's a Muslim organization, so they didn't really know. But I made sure that my faith stood. I stood on what I believed, right? So now that we've met our target and exceeded it, they're coming back to me to say, Ma, what do we confess again? Right, yes. So in doing what we're doing, we need to stand out. We need to believe in ourselves. You talked about office politics. Just yesterday, I was speaking to Bidemi, and I was telling her, I said, there's so many things happening in my organization. So at the top, there's just one woman, and the rest of them are men. And I'm wondering how. Why? And I'm just saying, you know what? We need to do something better. Right? So I'm getting all the information now, and I'm understanding what needs to be done. Wow. Right? So it's important that we don't just listen, we take all the correction, and then we move. So having said all of this, I believe that I've seen my mentors when I meet you.
And your sponsors.
Wow. I don't know how else we can define. I don't know another word that we can use to replace impact. I think this has been an impactful session. And our online audience, I hope everybody is gaining massively too.
Yes.
If you are gaining massively online, let's see your hand and let's see your cup of tea, because this is amazing. We need to round up this session.
Yeah, just to conclude, with one word, let them wrap up.
They can't do one
just
word.
One word.
Do you know what?
Why?
All right, we're going to give them their plaque. While they're receiving their plaque, they'll give their one word.
Yes.
All right, please, can they come with the plaques so that we can thoroughly appreciate all our amazing women. In fact, from different sectors, and yet it's my God, I have goose pimples all over, and I'm sure that everybody is taking notes. So, first plaque. Thank you. Adenike Adebayo, please, can you come and help us present? Adenike, please. All right, for Ife, Professor, Ambassador, Dr. Ife Kojo, please come. Wow. Abby, Please come down, come down. Yes, so amazing. Yes, please. Thank you so much. All right. Dr. Ife, your last word, ma.
Believe in yourself. If you don't believe you, nobody will believe you. You owe it to yourself. Believe.
Fantastic. They are just dropping nuggets upon nuggets. Ah, my head is full. Father, Lord, help us to be able to use the things that we learn to impact our lives. Because there's a thing to learn. The next person, Abidemi, will be presenting to Dr. Crystal, please. Wow. A round of applause. What was I doing with my life at 29? Amazing work she's doing. Amazing work. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us. Your last word.
My last word to you guys is build yourself. So start with yourself, as Dr. Ife told you. I remember the beautiful lady in red. When you build yourself, you can build the rest of the world. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mrs. Folashade, Mrs. Ogunjobi, Mrs. Folashade Ogunjobi, please come to. All right, to Mrs. Toyin Bakare this time. Wow, put your hands together for her. Wow, soft-spoken power.
Powerful.
In fact, this is a powerhouse of soft wisdom. When they say women that know how to operate in their feminine energy. Wow. So much soft women. But yet powerful women. World movers. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom. And the last word to the ladies.
Okay. I think my last word would be that the most powerful woman in the room is not the loudest, but she's that woman that encourages everyone to come to the table. So let's keep developing, let's keep mentoring, and let's remain resilient. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Dr. Uju Obianuju. Dr. Uju. Yes, ma'am. Please come and help us present the next plaque. Honestly, this is such a powerhouse. We have indeed, where we have really, really, really been impacted. Wow. You see? Now we have a sisterhood already.
Thank you. Last word.
Okay. All right. Our last award. Thank you so much. Your last word, please.
All that we need to do is join hands together. Do not let anyone fall. Let's all hold hands together. It's a chain. And let's pay it forward. Let's be sponsors and let's be sponsored. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And of course, tonight we have our next presenter has a double job. Yes, because she will be presenting to the last moderator, but she'll be giving us a very short, the shortest, most impactful session that will not take too long. She'll be teaching a little bit on wellness. Of course, you know that all these things we want to achieve, our mental health is very important in the achievement of it. Because if you are not centered, I doubt if you'll be able to achieve anything. So please help me welcome Chantal Modahogora. Yes, Modahogora. She's a wellness coach. She'll be presenting the last plaque and, of course, taking our session. Please help me celebrate her.
right, good evening, everyone. I will be very, very sweet and brief. Okay? As they said, my name is Chantal Mudahogora. My other hat, I'm also a preacher, so I wait the room to be quiet before I start talking. All right, so it's my pleasure to be here. Can you please give a round of applause to organizers? Please, shout out to these organizers, please. It's very, very important that women come together. I'm one of the few women who started the women movement here after the genocide. Now here Rwanda is. Yes, yeah, I worked for the Ministry of Women and Ministry of Gender and Family Affairs. Yes, that has been a long time. I'm also returning home from Canada after 28 years being abroad. Yeah, so I'm glad to be here. And I like this because there's something very catching in the title, which says that cases that deliver results. That's what we need in Africa. We need impact. We need results. And I'm really very grateful, Abigail, Abiola, I call you Abigail, Abby, for your leadership and your taking on this opportunity and giving women the opportunity to thrive. So I'm going to talk about something very brief. Everything has been said. I just wanted to draw your attention. Doctor was talking about how many hours we work and where we get our time. My question to her, if she gets up 3 a.m., what time does she go to sleep? And how many hours does she sleep? 8 by 9. Excellent. Because sleeping, resting is important in mental health. So just to give you a little bit of statistics, when it comes to extreme burnout and chronic stress, women score very high percentage compared to their counterpart male. 43 out of 31%. Meaning that women work so hard and very little time for themselves and very little rest. We need to always be mindful. As you all said, we are requested to do a lot with little time for us. So we need to be mindful, because at the end of the day, if I cannot fill my vessel, I cannot serve. I cannot serve from an empty vessel, correct? So we need to make sure that the burnout, the stress management, is a key as you're trying to rock the world, as trying to fix things out. But what I'm liking as I come back home is how now Africans are holding hands. This piece has been missing. Diasporas are returning home to look for opportunities, to contribute, and to serve. So I think this is not just a women gathering around AI, it's a movement. Abby, this is a movement and should expand a lot. So talking about mental health, also when it comes to imposter syndrome, women in leadership, they score extremely high because they all 75%. It's a high number because they all live with this fear of failure. They live with embedded fear. You all said it. The panelists said it. I was working double, so they won't say that woman has failed. Because somebody behind you is waiting for you to fall so they can walk through over you and they can take over your responsibility. So we need to care for ourselves and care for others. The good news, though, when it comes to women in leadership, we are changing from traditional leadership to transformative leadership, which is a good thing. Because traditional leadership used to be based on hierarchy systems, on competition, on sometimes faith-based community leaders, to the point where women did not find themselves in there. For you to go through, you will have to break walls after walls. But today, with the transformative leadership, we are looking more into artificial intelligence. We are looking into wellness, well-being of the staff, including the leaders. With all of that, it does not make it light for us. What makes it light is our own internal awareness. Because you have to remember, we come from African context with everything which comes with it. I do specialize in intergenerational trauma, which means you become a leader, but look at the trajectory. Look at where you came from. From the village, a poor girl who did not have enough, who were not loved, who were not considered, who were told that they would never make it. You come from that place of trauma. When I look at the history of this country, I'm a second generation of trauma from my parents who were traumatized in 1960s. Now I'm a first-hand survivor from 1994. Now my children are carrying double, triple trauma. So when you look at that, maybe Rwanda is an extreme case, but I do know for sure that any African girl has been abused at some point in their childhood. If you were not, your mother was abused when she was carrying you, and we do know now that a child starts accumulating mother's trauma from the womb. At 4 months of pregnancy, your child is actually sensing what you're going through. If you are emotionally in pain, if you are starving in pregnancy, if you're being abused, if you are crying, if you have fear, that child will accumulate all of those trauma in their subconscious. Now, when they grow up, coming to age of 15 with preteen, teenagerhood, hormones, that fear starts coming through. They start to suffer from anxiety, and they don't even know where the anxiety is coming from. Because for me, when I have my triggers of trauma as a survivor, I know where those triggers are coming from. But my son, who was 2 years old, I was carrying him on my back, doesn't know it, but he still has symptoms of it. So you have to be very mindful to know that for us to end that trauma, we need to be aware. We need to be emotionally stable. We need to regulate so we can be able to heal the society. Does it make sense? Or you are already tired? Thank you. So the statistics are overwhelming, but the good news is we are coming home. In some cases, also the West, the global West is changing. Not for us, not in our favor, but they are changing because they have to. I worked for 7 years for immigration in Canada. At that time, back in days when I was going there, immigration was a big thing. Immigrants, we were rolled the red carpet to come. Today, they're not even allowing you to land at the airport. Why? Because the very thing we are talking here, AI, is now changing everything. They never loved immigrants. I hope this is not online. They never loved immigrants, because I'm not being politically correct. They never loved immigrants. They never wanted us at their doors. They needed us to be manpowers. When my daughter wanted to go do medical school, they will never let her penetrate that wall. Never. Very brilliant, very smart, very dedicated, very motivated, disciplined, everything. She had the whole package. All she could do is to end in undergrad with the biomedical high marks, but couldn't make it to the med school. Not because she was stupid, but because there are areas which are very protected. So now we are coming back here because robotics have replaced us. Hello? So it's about time for African women to transform Africa. Yes? I travel a lot, and I go from South Africa to the north. I see that some countries, in Rwanda, we are aware of, and we are heading even in a better place. However, I see that some other countries still have a long way to go. Why? Because there are no women in leadership. So we need to be in the entrepreneurship, but I will encourage you to be in the politics. Be influencers. Influence decision making. Influence. Look, it is possible. We've been here before, and I'm talking from experience, not from just theoretical stuff. We've been there before. But when you position yourself, nobody can remove you from the position. So we need to be in the politics, so try to make the change from within. We don't have to be aggressive. We don't have to be activists, no. There's a soft way of getting your place. So now, let me give you a few tips, because I know the time I was given is over and people are tired. Just a few tips for you, like strategies to be able to keep your balance. Not being overworked. I know sometimes we don't have time for our children, sometimes we don't have time to, we don't have enough hours in the day, but how do we balance ourselves? Because the children too, if they are left to those nannies and other people, family members, nobody can replace a mother. Nobody can replace a father, especially at the very tender age. They need you all the way. My middle son just got married recently, and he still calls me every day. So, which means my daughter told me, Mama, I realized that you never retire from motherhood. I'm like, not at all. So they still need us, but especially those young mothers, please be there for the little ones. Yeah, otherwise they're gonna suffer, and they will suffer when they go in their own homes. So be mindful. Strategies. Number 1, establish rigid boundaries. Please. Those phone calls work-related at 9 p.m., no. On a Sunday. Yes. Why did you pick up? Okay, good. So it looks like it's the screen time. We never get our eyes off the phone. Why? Are we all crisis responders or emergency responders or what? Yes, actually, the addiction is becoming very bad. Yeah, so please establish some rigid boundaries. Take time off. If you are on call, give your phone to someone else at home. Tell them to respond for you, and you go to bed. You take a power nap and get up, because really, we don't have anything to give once we are very tired. Right? So that's number 1. Number 2, you need to cultivate peer support. Someone was mentioning it. Somewhere that you can go and vent and rant and do whatever, and you're not judged, and no one is pushing you away, and no one is telling you it's gonna go away, you are weak, blah, 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 blah. No. You can be you and speak your mind. So that in itself, it gives you a safe space for you to unload, right? So connect with other women in the leadership. They will help you to give you tips. Like right here in this panel, we all learn something from just collaborating, how you share. And I like Nigerian women. Honestly, you are very, very business oriented. Very business oriented. You guys have a mind. You always think about business. You need to teach us, right? We do too, but we need your energy, your dynamism, your everything, your drive. We need all of that. Audacity, yes. Because our culture we are not allowed to speak up or loud. When I moved to Canada, I had to go to this lawyer, because when you're applying for immigration papers, you go to the lawyer. In our culture, you cannot look someone with authority in the eyes. You have to look aside. Even your own husband, you have to look somewhere else. So now, not anymore these days, but back in days, that's how it was. So when I was with the lawyer, I would always look aside when he's asking me questions. He concluded that I was not speaking the truth, because I couldn't maintain eye contact. So I had to learn hard way. The interpreter told me that. So now, um, you also need to create that safe space. You also have to link your well-being and leadership. I have said, I already covered that. Redefine success. You need to redefine success. Why? We measure ourselves with what we succeeded. We end up identifying ourselves of how much we gain. However, we don't realize that if you did not succeed this project, you forget that last year you succeed one project. Therefore, you identify yourself with your failure or for your success. As a human being, you're much, much bigger than that. Right? We don't identify ourselves with what went wrong or what went right. We are who we are, and we are an entity that has no limitation. You have always to remember that. Yes, this failed. Maybe a project, maybe a house you're trying to build, it's not finished. Fine. But don't identify yourself with an unfinished house, because you're bigger than just whatever you're doing. When you identify with what you do, in the end, when that thing collapses, you collapse with it. You don't even have energy to start over, and you are the same person who started the first one in the first place. Maybe it's not a season. It failed not because of you, but because maybe it wasn't the season for you to thrive. Okay, so now you redefine your success, keep your dignity, don't allow anyone put you down. We all have a brain, we all have nerve system which functions, but just try to regulate, because if we don't regulate, we approach everything with emotions, and then we end up not succeeding. Or we go in with a full analytical thinking, and analytical thinking won't allow you to solve those ambiguous situations. So, as I conclude, I can just only congratulate you. You have done so much, came from so far, but we are also going far. Thank you.
Please celebrate Dr. Shanta. Please celebrate her for me. What a very great, impactful time that we have had. Thank you so much. Please, can we take a picture? Photographers. Yes. I'm sure everyone has had a very fulfilling time, and we're about to round up for the evening. But before we do that, we'll be taking our closing remarks from the chairman of the CIO and Cis Youth Club Africa, Dr. Fatoumata Koka. She will be joining us virtually. Dr. Fatoumata, good evening, ma'am. All right. We'll be taking our closing remarks. I think she's ready. Please focus on the screen. She will be taking the closing remarks. Thank you. She's speaking, but we can't hear her yet. We need to highlight her. Okay. We're trying to get her to give us the closing remarks. But guests, do we have her now? We want to thank all our speakers, all our partners, and of course, all the delegates for being part of the 4th edition of the Ladies in Tech and Leadership Network. I know for a fact that today's conversations have reminded us that women are not only participating in the future of Africa's digital economy, but they are actively shaping it. As we officially close the formal session, she's online now. Are we ready to take her? All right, we're buying time while we're doing our closing. Please, let's hear from Dr. Fatimata Koko. Yes, we can now.
Today, but the speakers and all of the conversations have been fantastic. I want to say a huge thank you to our convener, her team, for continuously having the vision to put this agenda up for conversations. And I've heard some amazing feedback, and I cannot believe it was only 4 years ago when we started in a small little place trying to figure out how we could make this happen. And I can just say, with my chest out, like they would say in Nigeria, that we are definitely arrived in a place where we are impacting across the continent. So for that, I want to say a huge thank you. And I just want to say, all the ladies in the house, give yourself a round of applause, because you really have showed up and you have participated fully. So I'm truly excited and glad to be here. There are a few things that were spoken to, and as the last speaker was speaking, I was thinking, as a mom, something always comes to mind is, that legacy. Have I done what I was supposed to do? So for all the moms in the house that's still raising children, I have an appeal. Can you make sure that all the stuff that you're giving to your daughters, that you're also impacting your sons? Because I am telling you, when it comes to when the kids are getting married, you'll be thinking, who raised this man? So let's try as mothers to really also put in as much as energy that we put into our daughters, into our sons, so we have a full 360 society with strong men and strong women. I think that is very important. Also, we cannot do this without our male counterpart as our sponsors. So we also need to understand, as we are chattering and making sure that we are creating legacy across the board, that we bring along and make sure that our male counterparts are taken along, because they are great sponsors. I can speak from my experience that my husband has been a tremendous support to all that I have been able to do as a mom, as a wife, and sister, in all the different roles and caps that we wear. Emotional intelligence is something that was spoken about, and I thought I'll just put a little bit of more light on it. This is when your sixth sense as a woman come into play. You can feel the energy. You know how to set the pace. And I think that women are very good at setting the emotional temperature. We do that very well in our families, and we can also take that to into our professional lives in setting that temperature so we can get to where we need to get. Own your failures is important. Own your failures. Do not be afraid of it. Do not be shy to talk about it, because a lot of times that's where we get the most energy to succeed. Own your failures. Show up like you have done today. You showed up, and that's amazing, because all those that didn't show up, they won't have the nuggets that have been shared with you and what you have been able to experience today. Be the change, because we have to be the change. We know something is wrong. Let us be the change to make it right. Be the change. Show up and be the change. And it's okay for you to have a little bit of, fear. Fear is when you're growing. Growth comes when you are terrified, but know that you have to do it. And that's growth. When you're comfortable, that means you're not growing. When you're uncomfortable, that's when you're growing that character. Sponsorship, I heard a lot of. I love it, because sponsors are everywhere. If you're consistent, if you are trustworthy, if you are reliable, if you say what you mean and mean what you say, you will get sponsors not by even asking. Sometimes it's just because you are doing the right things and showing up, your sponsors will be there. I have gotten so many roles that I never ever applied for as a board member. People will be like, "Oh, you heard about Fatimata? I mean, she's da 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 da," and that's my resume. And next thing I know, they're vetting me for some board. So also be able to be consistent in your character, because really your currency is your character, and that is priceless. I'll also say that to the ladies on the panel that spoke to leadership, it is true. Leadership starts very early. In fact, most of the time we find that women are able to function in multiple roles that we do not think is in the C-suites, but it is, because when you run your home, you're the CEO. When you're dealing with operational issues, with the children, with logistics, with your family, you are the COO. When you're dealing with the finances, you are the CFO. When you have to sit down and hear your husband or advise your husband, you're the board of directors. So I think for us women, we need to understand that those roles are actually inherent in who we are, and we have to own it in every space we get into. Know that all of these things, I love the saying that people say, do right by you, do you. That sounds fantastic. However, you can change. But one thing that does not change is God. So when you put your anchor in God and you understand what God's purpose is for you, and you understand what your being is for him, I think that's the best way to anchor your leadership strategy. What is right for God can never be wrong for you. So ladies and gentlemen, and the gentleman that spoke, because I heard a fella talk and I was very impressed. That guy is the bravest person I've ever met to be in that room. So kudos to him. As we step back into this, in our various sectors or industries, we can also just not leave this room today just carrying all the excitement of it today. But I think we should also think about four distinct things that I think our convener and the team over there will want me to share with you, and you've spoken to it for all through the day. One being, we must open access to capital, right? Mentorship is something that we talk about, but this time I'm going to stress sponsorship. We need strategic networks. We must ensure that, when we are talking about female-led enterprise across Africa, the ecosystem, technology or otherwise, that we are also not just saying it, but we're participating with supporting that sister in that business. And also for the sister that needs that support, we also need to be open to be vulnerable sometimes, but also be open to have critical, people criticize us, because that's the only time we can grow. Secondly, we must build institutional systems that really translate our technical mastery into executive authority. I hear that some cultures will say, like the last speaker was saying, well, in our culture, we are not supposed to speak up. But you can be strong without being loud. You can be really solidly strong. I had a grandmother that was solidly strong without being loud, in the way that she influenced, in the way that she guided her family, and the things that she did in her own life to show that softness, but yet that sternness. We also have to understand that engineering, we are now engineering pipeline that will reach various pinnacle in different corporations. So whether you're entrepreneurial or you are in corporate, there will be a time where those two have to work together. I was listening to one of the speakers talk about how she works with foreign companies in her textile and everything she needs to do. You also need to be able to function in those areas, whether you're a small business or not. Third, we must champion frameworks. that really demands measurable accountability. This is very important for women because we like one of the speaker was saying, her counterparts would say, "Oh, take the notes." Yeah, I mean, it's kind of natural traditionally that people will think that we are secretaries. And I'll give you a quick one because I know everybody's tired. To work for Microsoft, I went to a meeting very early, and the people coming into the meetings, the different ministers and so forth, they thought I was a secretary, and people were asking me to serve coffee and tea, whether there was coffee or tea. I didn't take anything about it. I said, well, fine, I serve them. But what happened was, once I sat down at that table, it shifted because everybody then realized, oh crap, we've just disrespected the person that is supposed. So everything I needed in that meeting, I got. Nobody argued. There were no questions. It was awkward for them, but it was great win for me. So we can also take that as an example of, do I look at this as a bad thing or as a good thing? Where am I in this context and how can I make it work for me? The fourth and most important is that we have to show up. And I've already said that before. We've got to show up. We have to show up for those tasks. We have to put our hands up. We have to be able to present ourselves as ready. You know that saying, fake it until you make it? A lot of our male counterparts didn't know how to do that. They fake it before they make it. And they get into the leadership role and then figure it out because now they have a network of people around them that they've built over time. And those people are excited to help them because now they're in a leadership role. I think for us women, we need to start to do the same. Build ourselves with good network around us. Take the opportunity. Don't shy away from it because most of the time, I can guarantee you're able to do the job. So on behalf of the CIO and C-Suite Club Africa, I want to extend my deepest appreciation to all of you, and especially to my convener. Abiola, I don't know how much I can just say about you because you're just incredible. You've created this and sustained this nurturing ecosystem for women in technology, and I'm delighted to be part of this joining vision. To our brilliant speakers who have challenged our thinking, to our partners who back this work with all, that you presented for us, for those in the room, thank you for your intellectual courage, for your leadership, for your commitment, and I am truly, truly honored to be part of this, and I pray next time I'm actually in the room with all of you all. So, I hope I have helped in some way bring it all together, and I think that for us today is just the beginning of an amazing legacy that someone somewhere in a few years or decade from now will mention one of our names, and we will become a legend. So let us go well, lead boldly, always, always bring another woman with you. Wishing you all safe travels and have a great rest of the evening. Have a glass of wine for me. Thank you.
I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much to our chairman, Fatoumata Koka. Thank you for the wealth of wisdom. She just brought everything together nicely. We appreciate, and I just want to honor every woman in the house. Thank you very much for allowing yourself to be sponges, sipping all the wisdom that you can. All right, we're done finally. Now we can get to do some fun things. We have karaoke that we're going to be having, and of course, I think there's still chop chop. Oh, proper lunch. We're going to have proper lunch. Praise God. All right. The other one we had was like pseudo lunch. So this is proper lunch that we can have karaoke, let our hair down, and just have fun together. Is that okay? All right. While they set up for karaoke, let's just go outside and, have fun. Yes. And while we're there, we'll intimate you about some of the programs that Club Africa has and CIO Suite Africa. Oh, the last panel did not take a picture? Please, panel, before you go, can the last panel take a picture, please? Yes. Let's have the panel picture. Yeah? Yes.
Hello, everyone. Yes. Um, Thank you, everyone. And I see that it's not going to be nice if I don't appreciate my new sisters that I met. You know, and you know, women, like the other sister said, they paid for this program, but I never did. Yes, I'm here for free. They gave me the access. Yes, you understand. Uh, I never. She's the one that. Hello. So I want to appreciate Auntie Viola, Sister Toyin, for giving me access to this program. Yes, because I've learned a lot, and then I can see that women are supporting women. Yes, I don't know you from anywhere, but we met at the airport and we connected, and that was all. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I really, really, really gained a lot, and I love you, sisters. I wish to connect with you in future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's have the picture and let's go out and have, I'll say, brownie, because that's, or lunch knee, that's lunch into night dinner. Uh-huh. So lunch knee is provided. I know you ladies have tried your tired, Ekpele. All right, thank you so much to all our online audience. We appreciate you staying with us and enjoying the night. God bless everyone. Thank you so much. We're going to eat now, but you have to join us virtually to eat. All right, thank you, everyone. Thank you.